Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning on in. We got a lot to get into. Shout out to everyone inside the Cookie Crush chat. Taking our time today. Cookie Crush chat's on the fit. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG it's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. It's going to be a different type of a show. I want to thank everyone too for tuning in, but also yesterday it was a classic. Every once in a while we have a classic show. Yesterday was a classic, instant classic. If you haven't seen that live stream, make sure you check it out. It'd be well worth your time. I want to thank everyone inside of the chat room for tuning in. Also, thanks to the mods for handling this. Also, thanks to everyone who's been supportive of my YouTube page, whether that is coming in, hitting that like button, super chat, super stickers, membership, whatever it may be. Thank you guys so very much. Okay, so today, this topic right here, it's sensitive to me. Yeah, we covered Umar yesterday where he's literally tweaking up there at the abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware, talking about he's seeing UFOs and he's out of his mind. But what we're going to get into today is in my opinion, it's one of the major issues in the so-called Black conscious space. And that is where individuals will dismiss the character of someone or the behavior of someone or the history of someone simply because they want to have that person be a part of their event or a part of their project or a part of anything that they're working on. And that's precisely what happened with Umar. You have organizations in the Black conscious space, and in this case, we have a school. It's a African-centric school, if you will, or we can say Afrocentric or Afri-centric school that had Umar come to speak to fifth graders. And the question becomes, should Umar be around children in the first place? And what does Umar Johnson's history tell us in terms of the legitimacy of having him being around children in the first place? I will argue here that there is extensive evidence that proves that Umar Johnson has no business being around children based upon his history, based upon what he has stated about children, about children's mothers, based upon his character. And yet, for some reason, there are organizations and institutions, and in this case, a Black conscious school that dismisses these. They just dismiss these types of things simply to have him come and speak. We're going to watch the video where he's speaking to the fifth graders. He's not even really speaking to the fifth graders. But I'm also going to share with you guys quite a few video clips during this live stream that I've compiled that shows you and proves without a shadow of a doubt that Umar has no business being around children. He tends to speak very violently about children. He tends to sexualize children. He's made all types of sexual comments about children that are thoroughly inappropriate. And he continues to talk about Black single mothers and Black mothers in sexualized ways over and over and over again. He has a history of this. Why would you have him come to speak to fifth graders? Why would you have him come to speak to any children? This is a big issue in the Black conscious space, the dismissal of major character flaws and behavior patterns that are indicative of someone that should not be around children in the first place. Okay, we got quite a bit to get into. Okay. All right. Thank you everyone again for tuning on in. Miss B became a member. I uploaded 3 videos for members last week. I plan on doing 2 more this week. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And everyone else who's members, thank you guys so much. It helps out tremendously. Larry says Umar should only be used as a cautionary tale for children. I totally agree. And he is. He's a cautionary tale. All right. This is someone, as we talked about yesterday, he has substance abuse issues. Why would you have him come speak to fifth graders? This is someone who gambles donation money for a school that does not exist. Why would you have him come speak before fifth graders? This is someone who is a deadbeat. He doesn't take care of his own children. Why would you have him come speak in front of fifth graders? This is someone who has at least 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone and has been on child support, doesn't pay child support on time, and had a 4th woman attempt to put him on child support as well. Why would you have him come speak to fifth graders? He's called for the murder of Black boys. Why would you have him come speak to fifth graders? When his daughter exposed him as a deadbeat last year, that fact alone, why would you have him come speak to fifth graders? And then he tells his followers, he weaponizes his followers against his own daughter. And he tells them, his followers, to go into her DMs and to confront her. And that's precisely what she did. What they did. She has a mental breakdown. And as they admitted, why would you have him come speak to fifth graders? She was having thoughts of unaliving herself because of what Umar Johnson did. Why would you have him come speak before fifth graders? And then she becomes homeless for many months. I don't even know if she's still homeless to this day. She may be. I'm not quite sure. Why would you have Umar? It's incredible to me. And did he help her at all? The answer is no. He was a deadbeat from the beginning. He's a deadbeat today and did nothing to help his daughter after he instigated events that caused her to be in very difficult situations. All of this played out online. I don't even like speaking about it, but why would you have him come speak before fifth graders? Now, everything that I've said here and much more, I can prove without a shadow of a doubt. I have receipts I can show you. I can pull up his child support docket. And it will show how Umar Johnson does not pay child support. Why would you have someone come speak to fifth graders and he's been arrested for non-payment? Why would you have someone come speak to fifth graders and this is someone who has bench warrants and has had his driver's license revoked several times? Why would you do that? All of this, I can back it up with receipts, including the 3 baby mamas and the 4th woman that attempted to put him on child support. The reason why Umar doesn't claim the 3rd baby mama is because when he impregnated her, she was in her early 20s. He was in his early 40s. This year, another young lady came out who's in her early 20s and alleged that she had relations with Umar and that he used her to take care of his mama. Why would you have someone like that come speak to fifth graders? And the list goes on and on and on. Okay, let's get into this, everybody. Yeah, he's a cautionary tale for sure. Thank you, Laurie, for the super chat. Okay, so this is, and thanks to James, he's the one that sent this to me. I had no idea that this was going on. And this is from June 11th, 2026, Umar speaking in front of fifth graders. And it's like a Black conscious type of school situation. Okay, CJ also says, Umar probably thought that one of the African or Caribbean teams at the World Cup was going to invite him to give a pregame speech. Listen, Umar thinks that he's important. He's not important like that. He's not. Okay, I've heard Umar say things like the Democratic Party donated $1 million to him. Anybody remember that? I've heard Umar say that Africans heads of state, that they wanted him to, he was phrasing it as if they wanted him to come to Africa to be the head of a school district or whatever in a particular African country. He thinks he's so important. See, part of the problem is in the Black conscious space, they ignore all of the red flags when it comes to Umar's character and behavior, and it has fed his ego to the point where he thinks he's important like that. No. By the way, this is someone who's been living off of his mama. Why would you have someone come speak to fifth graders who's been homeless since the end of 2019 and who still continues to lie and say that he's a school psychologist in 2026 when in point of fact, he's not? The last time he worked consistently was in 2006, and then he gives up his career because he worked intermittently up until 2010. And he's still lying to people. He's still telling people that he's a certified school psychologist. He's not. He holds no certifications or license currently, none. But one of the problems in the Black conscious space is that they prop these people up, polite. They prop these people up, Jay Morrison. They prop these people up. Yeah, Nature Boy to a degree. And it goes to their heads. They start to believe that they're that important. Well, Umar's the same way. He's the same way. Okay. Thanks, CJ. All right, we got a lot to get into. So let's get going here, everybody. Let's go to June 11th of 2026. And then I'm going to be bringing in clips to prove my point that Umar Johnson has no business being around children in the first place. And he shouldn't be in front of children, fifth grade children speaking. But you can tell as he's given this speech that he's not an educator. He claims that he's an educator. I've actually heard, here we go, CJ. I've heard Umar say that he's a master educator. He's never been a teacher. He's never educated children. He's a pathological liar. Why would you have a pathological liar who has narcissistic personality traits speak in front of fifth graders? Someone who is a sociopath, in my opinion, borderline psychopath. Anyone who calls for the murder of black boys, Umar called for the murder of black boys, the thugs on the corner. That's a psychopath. And you goofies, because there was a couple of y'all that got on into my comment section and was like, yeah, well, you know, he's telling some truth. You listen, you ain't gonna do shit. You can talk like that, but you ain't gonna do shit with no thugs. But for you to even think like that proves my point that Umar's a psychopath and that you have to be a psychopath too to believe that foolishness. Okay, let's go.
It's an honor to be. And I want to thank Miss Lisa Stewart and Miss Felicia Swain for making this possible. Please give them a round of applause.
Yeah, what didn't you see, Afro Punk Chick? Because I got stuff I'm gonna be pulling up. If there's something that I missed while we get into this, I'll find it. Just let me know.
And we've come here today to celebrate our young people, our boys and our girls. But after today, they will no longer be our boys and our girls. They'll be our young men and our young women.
Yeah. Okay, right away, I just have to say this, that no, you're not a young man, you're not a young woman when you're going into the sixth grade. Umar doesn't know that because he hasn't raised any children. Umar doesn't know that because he's not even in the school system and hasn't been in the school system since 2010. Who in their right mind will say something like that? To children going into sixth grade, that now that you're in the sixth grade, you're now young men and young women. It's ridiculous. But see, the truth of the matter is that Umar doesn't know what it means to be a man. He doesn't know what it means to be a young man because he's still stuck in a state of arrested development. That's why he's still living with his mama at the age of 51, living off of his mama and having randoms come take care of his mama while he's traveling and finagling and doing what he does out running in these streets, running through these women. Why would you have a sexual deviant speak in front of fifth graders? Oh, but it's the white man. It's white supremacy. It's, racism. No, it's you. You guys, the people who had him come on to do this, you guys should be ashamed of yourself. You're part of the problem. You're enabling someone like Umar Johnson. But then you want, okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
And two, this class of 2026, you distinguished fifth graders, Dr. Umar wants to personally congratulate you on a job well done. You are sitting here today because you came to school most of the time. You did your work
He up here looking bummy as can be too.
Most of the time.
The standards are so low. That's part of the problem. The standards are just low.
You passed your tests most of the time. And you follow your teachers and parents' directions most of the time. Now, these past 5 years may have not been easy.
Listen, you're talking to fifth graders. Why are you talking? Now, these last 5 years have not been easy. This guy, he's not an educator. He don't know how to talk to children. The children ain't even listening to him. He's talking to adults.
And for some, it may have been easier. But I want to let our young people know, as well as our parents, that we celebrate you today, but the hard work begins tomorrow. Because after you leave here today,
these kids are not interested in none of this foolishness.
You are no longer the fifth grade class of 2026. You are the graduating class of 27, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Look at this goofy. Clearly, he's just running out, talking out the side of his neck, coming up with anything. You see this guy?
That would be, is that 2033?
Mm-hmm. Why are you asking them? I know. This is not high school. They still got to go to 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. Then they go to 10th, 11th, and 12th, Umar. No, he didn't have no prepared speech. And this is not, whatever he's saying here, none of this is geared towards 5th graders. It's like he's talking to grown people. Yeah, just rambling. Yeah, my email is LenonHonor@yahoo.com, Miss Honey. Let's keep going. Yeah, this is recent. This is from the 11th, so 5 days ago. And shout out to James. He's the one that sent it to me.
Is it 2033? Am I right on that? No.
That baby, see, that baby was like, no. See, the babies always know. It's like that one time, that baby was inside that gym, and she was like, I want to go home. The babies know what's up.
No. So it's the class of 2033. That means you have.
She said no again. That's right.
7 more years. 7 more years to come to school. 7 more years to do your work. 7 more years to pass the tests. 7 more years to follow instructions. And young people, I want to be honest with you. I'm concerned that some of you won't be at that finish line in 2033.
It's always some doom and gloom negative shit with this guy. Yeah, that baby was trolling. You always got to be negative. Yeah, why would you say something like that to 5th graders? That's horrible. Yeah, I know, Crystal. That's what I'm saying. The standards are so low. What's up, Iceman Vamp? I ain't seen you in a minute. Says Umar came to speak at my 6th grade graduation and said, oh man, that is wild. Shout out to Iceman Vamp. He said Umar came to speak at my 6th grade graduation and said FDMG will open next year. That was in 1972. Okay. That is crazy. All right. Well, y'all be coming up with some things. Thanks, Iceman. Man. Good to see you too, man. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
Because outside that building, outside that wall, your parents know, your teachers know. Dr. Umar knows all too well that there are some challenges that are waiting for you in the community. There's challenges waiting for you at your middle school.
He said,
and today we want to motivate you and encourage you to stay focused when you get to middle school.
That's hilarious. FDMG class of 1973. What's up, Jimmy? Jimmy Jamboree said, Galveston Well says this might be motivating to a bunch of ninjas in A. Oh man, you guys cutting up. This might be motivated to a bunch of ninjas in double A, but this is certainly not appropriate for young students. I totally agree. Like he don't know how to read the room. He talking, and it's already gotten negative already. But it goes to show you he's not an educator. There's a way that you speak with children, especially in an education setting, like a school setting. But also there's a way to talk to children, just like in general. Umar doesn't understand that. See, and part of it is because he ain't raised no kids, and the other part of it is that he ain't educated no kids either. So that you're right. It sounds like, well, anyway. Okay, thanks, guys. Noel. Let's keep going. Here we go.
Young men, I need you to understand that as much as you might want to be a basketball player, as much as you might want to be a football player, as much as you might want to be a track star, as much as you might want to be an entertainer or a musician, I need you to understand.
He's talking to 5th graders. This guy's nuts. Yeah. How old? Yeah, what, about 8 years old? Maybe 9?
That you are more likely to go professional in something other than sports and entertainment. And I'm going to challenge your fathers today. Because sometimes...
Isn't that deep? Umar, you're not even a father to your own children, but you're going to challenge other fathers? You're a deadbeat. You don't take care of your kids, not even financially. Yeah, okay, 9 to 11 years old? Okay, yeah. He told the kids to hit the cash app. I don't think he's going to do that. That's too far, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'll say that. He said, I know, family. And now, family, I know you're only in 5th grade, but I need you to hit the cash app. I need you to hit the cash app. All right, thanks, Ace. Thanks, Highway 20 Skinny. What's up, Black Mara? Says the key is ready to get to the the key is ready to get to the snacks and the punch, and he up there talking. You mean the kids? The kids they're ready to get to the snacks and punch, and he up there talking nonsense. Yeah. And this video goes on for quite some time. I would say it's probably about maybe 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than that. But clearly the kids aren't interested in it, and he just running his mouth. It's just awkward all the way across the board. It's awkward. He's not. And again, I'm going to be pulling up some videos. Probably every 5 minutes, I'm going to pull up some videos to show you guys and prove how he shouldn't be in front of children in the first place. Okay. Thanks, Black Mara. For the super chat. Everyone else, thanks for all the super chat. Let's keep going. Here we go.
Dr. Umar has to get on our fathers for letting our boys sometimes grow up thinking they're going to be the next Kobe Bryant. They're going to be the next Michael Vick. They're going to be the next Michael Jordan. We need you to understand.
He's so negative about shit. He's supposed to inspire and give encouragement. Up here destroying kids' dreams, and probably most of them kids ain't even thinking about trying to be a professional basketball player. But the point is that normally you're supposed to be motivational and inspirational. He's a downer, so negative about shit.
That only 1% of all high school athletes go professional. You have a greater chance of being struck by lightning than becoming.
He's so negative and macabre. Why would you say that to fifth graders? You have a better chance at getting hit by a car on Monday. You got a better chance at getting, if you're in Florida, of getting eaten by an alligator. Why would you say that to some kids, 5th graders? Yeah, it's just crazy. And parents that care about their kids, if there was someone talking like that, we would probably just get up out of there. I'll probably say, what the fuck are you talking about? It'll cause a big old ruckus. But anyway, yeah, he's a negative Uncle Nancy. He's not Uncle Nancy, but he's a negative. He's so negative. Yeah, he's a Debbie Downer. That's who Umar is. Yes, he's psycho. What's up, Sequoia? He says struck by lightning. How do you get this? How do you get to that? I am. I haven't even watched the whole video. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I said, we're gonna have to watch it in the Cook Crush chat. There's no way. This is the kind of stuff it bothers me. I'll call Cap says, I will lose it if he yells boom, boom. Yeah, he ain't gonna do that. He wouldn't do that. Well, ain't no telling with this guy. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, thanks. I call Cap. Okay, let's get going because we got quite a bit to get to. Here we go.
I'm a professional athlete or entertainer. But when you get your education, that only 1% of all high school athletes go professional.
So negative.
You have a greater chance of being struck by lightning than becoming a professional athlete or entertainer.
That is just so horrible. Anyway, Jam Jackson's got a better chance to hit the Cash App. Right now, see, that's the thing. You'll be positive about that, wouldn't he? But he got all this negative stuff to say, including you have a better chance of getting hit by lightning. But to get on that Cash App, yeah. Thanks, Jam Jack. Larry also says, outdated Tunde strikes again. Kids' unrealistic dreams in 2026 are to be a content creator. Yeah, there's some truth to this. Yeah, there's some serious truth to this. They've grown up on social media, with social media. When I was a kid, there was no internet. There were computers, but most people didn't have them. No cell phones, no social media, none of that. My kids' generation, okay, that was there for them. And the next generation, which would be this generation that he's speaking to, they have access to that. So yeah, Umar, he's part of it too is Umar, he has extremely negative views about successful Black people who are in entertainment, who are in sports, who are like comedians, you know, that type of thing, even politicians too. So he tends to speak very poorly about these types of people. And so that's why he's bringing it up here. And thanks, Larry. What's up, 54 B. Lewis says Umar is talking to kids like he's conducting an adult motivation seminar. Yeah, like AA, when actually he sounds like he just left therapy. Yeah. That's another thing for the people who brought Umar here. He does to this event. He does a lot of projecting. Now, I don't know how much more he does inside of this part, or how much he does inside this particular video, because I didn't watch the whole thing. But even when he brings up the sports and this type of thing, that's him projecting, because he's talked about this, that he was never athletic. He had issues with his feet. And I don't want to, it'll be in the documentary, but I don't want to say too much. But I found a video, and you can tell when he was speaking about it in 2013 that it still impacts him to this day. And he was talking about how his feet were curved inward. And so he was non-athletic. And I could see that. And I already knew that about Umar. I've talked about that years ago. But even when he did that video back in 2013, you can tell, because he said something afterwards about it. And I'm not going to give it away here, but he said something. I'll point it out in the documentary. He said something afterwards where you can tell he's still self-conscious about that. So I have a sense that that is one of the reasons why he tends to attack sports athletes over and over and over again. Okay. Yes. And then in a sense, when he does that, that's his form of coping, if you will. And in a sense, that would be a form of him with this therapy. So I don't know how much more, if he does a lot of projecting in this particular video, but this is a good point. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. Thanks, B. Lewis. Hope you're doing all right, too. Tig Speaks says, uninspiring Umar and tear you down Tunde. Yeah, it's all next. Now, maybe he becomes more positive. Okay. We'll have to wait and see. But Umar's history proves that he's overwhelmingly, he's negative. He speaks very negatively about Black parents and about Black children. Okay. I'll give you guys some examples in just a moment. Thanks, Tig. And then what's up, Iceman Vamp again says, and don't forget, kids, if you ever ask, PayPal will freeze your account. Don't believe them. Yeah. Yeah, I have a video where Umar was talking about, it's always something where he was talking about PayPal had froze his account. Just like last year, he said that his bank accounts were frozen, his personal bank account, his business bank account for FDMG. It's always something with this guy. Yeah. Thanks, Iceman Vamp. Okay, let's get moving here. I'm going to pull up an example. I already have it queued up in about a minute and 30 more seconds of the main video. Okay, here we go.
But when you get your education, when you graduate high school, when you go off to college, you don't have to rely on physical skill. Right. You don't have to rely on physical gifts and talents. Because if you have the discipline, if you have the commitment, if you have the desire, and if you have the determination, being a doctor is not a matter of luck. Being an engineer is not a matter of luck. Being a scientist is not a matter of luck. Being a business owner is not a matter of luck. See, what they don't tell you about the NFL and NBA, you can be the best football player, but if you're not at the right place, at the right time, to get discovered by the right coach, at the right school, as good as you are, you may never get your opportunity. Right. But if you say, I want to be a surgeon, if you say, I want to be an astronomer, if you say, I want to be an astronaut or a teacher or a nurse, you don't have to worry about being in the wrong place or the right place at the right time to meet the right person. You just have to do your work when it's due at the right place and the right time, and you will achieve the goal. Yeah.
This is trash. Thanks again, Iceman Man. No, he really does. It's just trash. Yeah, talking to fifth graders like this. They sure are not. Just gibberish. All right. I just was sent some information from James. I will not disclose here, but this is all of this is a bunch of bull jive. Okay, all of this. And let me just throw this out there, because I'm not gonna say nothing. I want to just pose a question. Who would bring Umar out to speak to fifth graders? Go and discuss in the chat room. I'll leave it right there. Let's keep going.
I want my mothers and fathers and grandparents and members of the community to understand that we can't have our children growing up believing in a dream. They need to believe in something that is absolutely destined to happen.
Okay, nothing is absolutely destined to happen except passing away. What are you talking about? This guy is nuts.
As long as they put their minds to it. Mothers and fathers, I want to say thank you because your job was not easy.
No, it wasn't.
Your job was not easy. You had to pay the bills. You had to keep the lights on.
Look who's talking. Someone who ain't take care of none of his kids. Whoever got him there needs to be evaluated. I agree, Tiggs. It's just horrible. It really is. Yeah, I know that. And I didn't, real talk, I didn't want to go there, but for him to say that, let's go back. I just want to go back. Let's go back. Here we go.
And you will achieve the goal.
Yes.
I want to be an astronomer. If you say, I want to be an astronaut or a teacher or a nurse, you don't have to worry about being in the wrong place or the right place at the right time to meet the right person. You just have to do your work when it's due at the right place and the right time, and you will achieve the goal.
Yes.
I want my mothers and fathers and grandparents and members of the community to understand that we can't have our children growing up believing in a dream.
Yeah, it's just bad verbiage that he's using there. It really is.
They need to believe in something that is absolutely.
Okay, well, FDMG is a dream. You still collecting money for it. Scammer.
Destined to happen as long as they put their minds to it. Mothers and fathers, I want to say thank you because your job was not easy.
No, it wasn't.
Your job was not easy. You had to pay the bills. You had to keep the lights on. You had to pay for the graduation pictures. You had to pay for the field trips. Gas, electric, water.
Damn. This is some sad shit, y'all. Shout out to James. This is some sad. Okay. Let's keep going. Man.
You had to do that on your own. And even when you didn't have it, sometimes your child wanted something that they might not have needed, but you didn't want to deny them. So you robbed Peter to pay Paul to put a smile on your baby's face. I want the parents to know, I know you struggled to get here. I know you went through hell to get here today. Some of you dealing with the loss of friends, the loss of loved ones.
What in the world? This guy. This is supposed to be for the fifth graders. What is going on? Shout out to my Cookie Crunch Chat, Sean Goes and Sean Guess. What's up? What's up, user 22? What's up, user 225? Lenon told Umar, look who's talking. He said, no, it's true, because I can pull up his child support docket right now. I can pull it up right now. I have the women's names redacted. And one of his child support dockets, instead of using Ibn for a middle name, because he has many different aliases. Okay. Umar Rashad Ibn Abdullah Johnson. He'll use Umar Johnson. He'll use Umar Abdullah Johnson. He'll use Umar Ibn Johnson. So the guy, he's a scammer. He has so many different aliases. But what he does is he files or he gives the name Umar Y Johnson, Y for Ibn, instead of using an I. Now, it could have been a typo too, but what I did was I took the woman's name on the child support docket. I've never showed that though. Okay, I've never showed the baby mama's names. I took her name and I did my own research into her, and I was able to connect her to Umar, or if you want to say Umar to her. And that's the woman that he impregnated when she was in her early 20s. He was in his early 40s. So look who's talking. Out of all people, he has no place to talk about none of this. Lenon, who invited the goofy ninja? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Some people said they already knew inside the inside chat room. They already know. Listen, real talk, Black people. You've been around for a very, very long time. Who do you think would bring Umar out to an event like that, based upon Umar's history? I don't want to say too much. And the target, now I'm saying too much, his target demographic. Who you think? I got the picture right here too. Shout out to James. We're going to leave it right there, though.
Some of you dealing with medical problems of your own.
Okay, this again, Umar, he's talking, that ain't got nothing to do with no fifth graders. This is Umar. He's talking about himself as projecting. Now he's projecting. Yeah, someone that brought that up. Or thank Black people for that too.
You're dealing with the everyday challenges of being someone of color in the United States of America. I understand the challenges. So we don't just celebrate your children. We celebrate you too. But parents, your job is just getting started.
Here he go.
You got 7 more years. And when these babies get to 6th grade in the fall, in the summer, your job has only begun. And the first thing I want to tell my parents right from the beginning, I say this to you as a school psychologist, listen to me well.
Umar's not a school psychologist. He has not been a school psychologist since 2010. And at that time, he was working intermittently in the charter school system in Philadelphia. Prior to that, he was working from 2000 to 2006 in the public school system. But he tricked that off because he was a problem. See, he holds no certifications currently, no professional certifications, including as a school psychologist. But he still tells people and he lies to people in their face in 2026. Again, I already told you, Umar Johnson followers, I've already issued a challenge to you all. If you can provide me with a receipt that shows that Umar has a license, a current license in anything outside of his driver's license. I'm talking about professional license. And it will appear inside a database there for Pennsylvania for the school psychologist or for psychology, whatever the case may be. There's 2 different databases. If you can provide me with that receipt, I will cash app you $150. I'll wait. If there's anyone out there who's watching this and you can prove to me that Umar Johnson is currently a school psychologist, meaning that he's working at a school in a professional capacity in 2026, I will cash app you $150. I'll wait. He's a liar. Keeping your head above water, making a way where you can. At least we lucky we got him. Good times. Okay. That's random. That's the jam, though. I ain't gonna lie. That's the jam. You see, as soon as I saw the lyrics, I started smiling. That was the jam back in the day. All right. Okay. Thanks, guys. Got us, Noel. I needed that because this really, it really, I do. I don't like when Umar, when he's lying to people like this, but he's in front of children, they're 5th graders. It's inappropriate. Now, real quick, before we move on, and thank you again, guys, Noel. Before we move on, I'm going to provide receipts to prove without a shadow of a doubt that Umar Johnson should not be in the presence of children in the first place. Let's start with the first one. Here we go.
As I said earlier, there will be a long day for every grade. The long day for 2nd graders, where they will have dinner in their business suit with their class and class teacher and their school principal, will be Tuesday. 3rd graders, their long day will be Wednesday. 4th graders, their long day will be Thursday. Your students will be dropped off to their homes following the dinner and fireside chat with Dr. Umar Johnson. The fireside chat is a post-dinner activity where your sons and I will cuddle near the fireside, where your sons and I will cuddle near the fireside.
Why would you have someone who's talking like this speak in front of 5th graders? See, most Umar Johnson followers, they haven't heard that. That's from the Big Papa podcast. If there's anyone who has all of those episodes and you send them to me, I'll cash app you $200 or PayPal you $200. I only have 2 episodes. But in this episode, he gives a parent orientation and he talks about what he's going to be doing with y'all's kids, because it's not mine. You let anybody talk like that about any of my kids and we're going to have a problem. But somehow Umar gets a pass. Now, is it possible that the people who brought Umar out to speak to these 5th graders, is it possible that they haven't heard that audio? And yeah, it's highly possible. It's probable because it's not well known. But that's not all. There's plenty of other evidence that if they did their due diligence, they would know about. Here's some more examples.
As I said earlier, there will be a long day for every grade, the long day for second graders, where they will have dinner in their business suit with their class and class teacher and their school principal will be Tuesday. Third graders, their long day will be Wednesday. Fourth graders, their long day will be Thursday. Your students will be dropped off to their homes following the dinner and fireside chat with Dr. Umar Johnson. The fireside chat is a post-dinner activity where your sons and I will cuddle near the fireside, where your sons and I will cuddle near the fireside, where your sons and I will cuddle.
Yeah, this video's from 2019, the end of 2019. Umar sitting in his apartment. This is prior to him, May of 2019. By the end of 2019, he gets evicted out of this apartment. Look at this trash and filth. Why would you have someone who lives in filth and who is a hoarder and is dirty and nasty come and speak to fifth graders? See, black people, the standards are too low. It's unacceptable. Look at this.
My thing is y'all need to. What happened?
Okay, and he still lives like this to this day. Let me give you a couple more. This is from my first document.
Grand opening of the FDMG building.
I'll skip through this part.
Because the lighting is not on.
There we go.
Tennessee, October 5th. So we got back-to-back Memphis. Back-to-back Memphis.
Okay, and this is an example of Umar being high and just zoning out. Why would you have a dope fiend speak in front of fifth graders? Let's keep going. This is him inside of cemeteries, ranting and raging.
Most requested black scholar in the world, not America, not South America, not Asia, not Europe, not Australia. I said the whole damn planet. You're talking to the most requested black scholar on the whole damn planet. 10 years and counting, you can't stop me.
Again, why would you have someone who goes into cemeteries and live streams and yells and rants? There we go.
Cash.me/$FDMG school. Run them donations. Cash.me/$FDMG school. It's a movement.
Okay, why would you have someone who's always online begging for money for a school that does not exist? Why would you have them come to speak to fifth graders? Right?
This short documentary will illustrate how Umar Johnson's threats of physical violence are consistently directed at black boys, black women, and black men, and that his rhetoric reveals a deep-seated hatred for black women, black girls, and so-called black male thugs. Furthermore, this documentary will illustrate how Umar Johnson has continuously issued threats of physical violence against people who have spoken out against his dangerous and hate-filled rhetoric while encouraging his followers to act violently on his behalf.
We are in the middle of a war. I want all my Dr. Umar supporters, Team Ifa Tunde, suit up, buckle up, grip up, because I'm done with the dumb shit from the haters.
Umar Abdullah Johnson, a.k.a. Jermaine Shoemake, was born on August 21st, 1974 in North Central Philadelphia. Umar Johnson, the self-proclaimed Prince of Pan Africanism, has a torrid history of threatening people with physical violence. On September 28, 2017, an article written by David Sentendrey entitled Advocate for Violence Against Bad Cops to Speak at JCSU was posted on fox46charlotte.com. The article reads in part, "A controversial speaker pushing for violent retaliation against police brutality will speak in December at Johnson C. Smith University. Dr. Umar Johnson has advocated for people to shoot and kill law enforcement officers in cases of police brutality."
I choose my words very carefully, as you know, but it's time for one of us, when we get into a fight with one of these police, to take that weapon and blow brains out. And I say that in honor of every black man, woman, and child who have been beaten or murdered by police.
Umar Johnson's 2017 promotion of murdering police officers is comparable to Umar Johnson's 2013 promotion of murdering so-called black boy thugs.
Okay, by the way, why would you have someone speak in front of fifth graders who has a history of talking about these levels of violence and murder? Why would you do that? That's not all.
A lot of boys who got the thug energy, anger. Thug energy is normally anger and pain. That's all it is. I know, because I do therapy with them thugs. And once they see I ain't scared of them, then we can have a conversation. And fellas, I want to be clear now. When we go back to take over the community, because we're going to have to do it, gentlemen, you can't expect the cops to fix this, because they started it. But I want to be clear, and I know some of us love our children, but some of our children are so far gone that we're going to have to put some of them to sleep in order to take back the neighborhood. Some of y'all don't want to hear that because you don't live in reality. But I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good.
To be clear, when Umar Johnson states some of them going to sleep for good, he is stating that these black boy thugs need to be murdered.
But I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good, for good, for good.
Okay, why would you have someone who's called for the murder of black boys come speak to fifth graders? Okay, let's get back to the main video. Just again, I'm going to give you guys a different type of show. I'm going to give you plenty of examples to prove my case. Okay, Miss Sunny says if Umar was legit, he wouldn't have so many aliases. I totally agree. That tells me he don't want to be found and got something to hide. Absolutely. Many disguises. Reminds me of the series Lupin on Netflix. Anyway, yeah, I haven't heard of that series. Can I give you guys, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to pull this up for you guys. This is going to take a moment because I got to make sure that I pull up the proper one because I don't want to share any personal identifiable information with the baby mama. So just bear with me right quick. I think this is the folder right here. Okay, yeah, this is it. Let me just do this real quick. Want to make sure that everything's redacted. Okay, here's the first one. And tell me if you guys see something strange about this in terms of Umar's name, the name that he's using here. Here's the first one. In fact, type it in the chat room if you guys don't mind. Okay. So this is for the first baby mama. He uses Umar R. Abdullah Johnson. Umar R. being Rashad Abdullah Johnson. You guys see this? This child support docket is over 74 entries at this point. Okay, because I got it up to a certain year. And I have the more recent ones too, but this is from 20, this goes up to 2025 here, and it's extensive. Okay, so Umar R. Abdullah Johnson. Okay, here's the second baby mama. He uses Umar Johnson. All right. Here's the second baby mama had the hold on 1 second. Had hired a lawyer, and they went through the Department of Human Services, and you see Umar Johnson. Okay, so that's two baby mamas. Let's get to the third one. Umar A. Johnson. Now, what I did was I took this person's name, and I have it redacted here, and I did research into that name and was able to connect this person to Umar and Umar back to this person. That's third baby mama. And then there was a fourth woman. I don't have that one inside here. Is this right here? And I don't think this is the, no, this is still the baby mama number 3. Yeah, 2025. There's another entry on this one for 2026. Yeah, I sent this to James recently. But I do have a fourth one, and that's I don't think that this is the baby mom, but there's a fourth woman that attempted to put him on child support, okay, but was unsuccessful. Okay, but these ones, all these three, and this one right here, I believe this is the. Let me look right here real quick. Let me pull up my timeline. Okay, so this is from 2017. Yeah, this is actually the. Yeah, this is the lady that Umar calls the evil vegan. This is this lady. But look at the name that he uses, Umar A. And then there's another woman where he uses Umar Y instead of Ibn. But so let me just correct myself. This is the third baby mama. This is the one that he calls evil vegan. He doxed her mother too, and doxed their place of business. Anybody remember this? Hit the one. I can pull it up and show that too. And he told his followers to go up there to their place of business and confront them at their place of business, which actually puts not only the baby mama's life in jeopardy, the grandmama's life in jeopardy, but also by proxy, that puts his own daughter's life in jeopardy. He's been a deadbeat for this child too. She didn't put him on child support until 2017, but the baby was born, I'll just say much earlier, so I don't want to give too much information on this. But the point is that look at the name that he uses here. Okay, this is who he calls the evil vegan. And then there's a fourth woman. I would have to go find it inside of my notes that attempted to put him on child support. Third, I would have to go find it. I have the screenshot for it though too. But this baby mama right here, she has an entry for this year for 2026, so it's still ongoing. Remember when Umar was talking about how he had posted on his Instagram page how he has to pay more in child support? Well, that's what he's talking about this case right here on this docket. Anyway, what do we see through this? What we see is different. Umar uses different names. Okay, Umar A. Johnson, Umar R. Johnson, and the reason why he uses A is Umar Abdullah. Okay, so Umar Johnson, he uses Umar R. Abdullah, which is Umar Rashad Abdullah. He also uses Umar A. Johnson, which is Umar Abdullah Johnson. And then I have him on record using Umar Y. Johnson. And I was able to track that person by researching her name to track that person back to Umar. Okay. So the point I want to make is that he has many different aliases, and that's a red flag too. Okay. When people change their names or they're using alternate names, oftentimes they want to change their names and they take Afrocentric names or Afrocentric names because they want to keep the history. If you know their real name, but you guys know my name, you do the history, you'll find out real quickly. Jay Morrison as an example, you'll see very quickly, right? All right. Thank you again, Miss Honey, for super chat. User 225 says, "Look at my therapist dog. I'm gonna be institutionalized." Yeah. He be talking crazy. If you listen to how he talks, he doesn't talk like a therapist would talk, or like a professional would talk, or like a school psychologist would talk, or like a psychologist would talk, or he claims to be a child therapist. He's never been a therapist. The therapists don't get online and talk the way that Umar Johnson talks and behaves the way that Umar Johnson behaves. Thanks, Jujubai. KB says, now, why is the most requested scholar speaking at a 5th grade graduation? He's officially a struggle speaker. That's a good point, too. Umar will take anything these days, but I have a sense based upon information that was sent to me from Brother James, and James is a credible source. In fact, I didn't know this. Well, I realized it probably about maybe 6 or 7 months ago, maybe 8 months ago. He knows his stuff. He sent me so much stuff I had no knowledge of, and he's the one who sent me this video. A lot of these live streams over the last year and a half wouldn't even have happened if it wasn't for him. So shout out to James. But James knows what's going on behind the scenes with this. He told me, he said, don't put the picture. I said, okay. I said, all right, I can respect that. So I ain't gonna say too much. I gave a couple little hints there, but if y'all want to know what's really going on, y'all ask James. I did that before. I said, yeah, just put it on James. Y'all go ask him. Don't ask me about it. Anyway, yeah, he's a struggle speaker. He really is. I can pull up evidence that proves that back in the day, he was big time. In his heyday, he would sell out venues. It'd be jam-packed wall, people standing up against the wall, and it'd be professionals, people dressed in suits and ties, men and women dressed in professionally. Those days are long gone with this guy. I've seen this guy give a lecture in a parking lot, in someone's backyard. But he's the most requested? No, he is. He's a struggle speaker. Okay. That's a good point. Thank you, KB. Pierre's Land said Umar is a smokeologist, not a psychologist. Yeah, and I have video of him smoking. We have video of Umar smoking. We have a video of Umar taking a sniff. You guys, the turn the heat down video. I can't find the original video. I wish I had it. I have it on one of my old drives from back in the day. It's just an old drive. I just got to find which one it is. I have so many of them. This is before SSD drives, but the point is that I couldn't find the original one. But when he does that video, that's precisely what he does. It's in the first documentary. I gave quite a few examples yesterday of Umar tweaking. Why would you have someone like that coming to speak to fifth graders? That's crazy. Why would you have him talk to any children? Don't even take care of his own kids. Thanks, Pierre's Lamb. Freda says, sickening yet. It really is. And again, the standard has been set so low, but I also think that there's other stuff going on behind the scenes, and that's how Umar was able to finagle to get to speak in front of these children in the first place. It's just thoroughly inappropriate based upon Umar's history and his rhetoric. I'm going to provide more examples of that as we move throughout this live stream. Okay, thank you again, Alfredo. Tawana says, Cuddle Kong Tunde is a weirdo. Yeah, he is a weirdo. Who talks like that? And I'm going to provide some other examples where he's talking sexualized verbiage dealing with children. It's thoroughly inappropriate. There's so much of it. There really is. I'm going to give you guys a couple of samples of it. I'll expound on it inside the documentary. But that's a red flag right there. Okay, a huge red flag. Okay, thanks, Tawana. TJ says, how is it possible this man keeps getting all these speaking engagements? Are people just turning a blind eye? What is it? Yeah, I think that for some people, they are turning a blind eye. And we've talked about this more recently, like podcasters who have him on. A lot of it has to do with they know they're going to get clicks and views. So it's not about ethics or morals. Breakfast Club, as an example, Art of Dialogue. Art of Dialogue does good work. It's just that to have Umar on and continue to platform him, it's problematic because it exposes new people to this fraudster and someone who, listen, Umar's a sexual deviant. He's a master manipulator. He scammed millions of dollars out of Black people over the years for a school that still does not exist. Why would you keep platforming someone like? So I think that's part of it, is that people get clicks and views. They make money off of Umar. Another aspect is people are in denial. They're just thoroughly denial. They're in thorough denial. They don't want to admit the truth. It's all out there. You can just do. I would think that anyone could take 2 weeks of research into Umar, and they should know after the 2 weeks what the deal is. Or they can watch a couple of these episodes on my YouTube page, and they should have a clue. But it doesn't matter if a person is in denial. But I think in this case, TJ, for them having Umar come to speak based upon what was sent to me by James, I think it has. It's just something that has happened many times in the past, which has allowed Umar to get into venues and be invited to speak, and not because he's credible, not because he has something positive to say to these fifth graders. Not because he's an upstanding person. He has ethics and more. No, it's some other stuff going on. I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay, thanks, TJ. Twan also says scammers are good for using different aliases. Yeah. I can run off a list of them. Jay Morrison, Zaza Ali, Umar. Umar has a gang of them though, because you can even throw in. See, he has legal alias. Well, I shouldn't even say it that way. He uses aliases legally too, but he also has these other aliases that he uses that are self-appointed, like Prince of Pan African, King Kong Consciousness, the most requested scholar. But that's like set to the side. I'm talking about specifically for legal purposes. He uses many different aliases. A matter of fact, on his degrees, I can pull them up. The 3 degrees that Umar Johnson has shown, if you guys look at it, you look at it for each one of those degrees, he has different names for each of those degrees. Red flags. Okay, thanks, Tawana. What's up, Lewis Luck says this man child support spanned about 5 U.S. presidents and 20 NBA champions. It's true though. You ain't lying. I think you brought this up before. That's an impressive level of deadbeatness. You're absolutely right. Because I think someone, I don't know if it was you, but this was maybe a couple of years ago. Someone brought this up. Like he's been in child support for there've been 5 different presidents. That's crazy. He's been in child support since 2002. Okay, so it's been 24 years, and he was put on child support by the first baby mama in 2002. He was put on child support by the he wasn't in that. Okay, so 2000 put on child support by the second baby mama in 2017, but the baby was born earlier, much earlier, I should say. And then the third baby mama put him on child support in 2015, and she was in her early 20s. There's more I could say about that situation, but I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, it's horrible. And then there's another woman, I would just have to go and find it, who attempted to put Umar on child support, but she was unsuccessful. And he uses Y instead of I. But like I said before, I took her name and I researched it thoroughly, and I know how to research. By the way, I have a degree in computer technology, cybersecurity, computer technology. So part of our coursework was on how to find information on people, and that's what I did with her, and I was able to connect her to Umar, connect Umar back to her. Anyway, he's been a deadbeat for a very long time. And see, here's the thing: it's not just that he has 3 baby mamas. It's not just that he's on child support, because there's plenty of good brothers who are on child support, good men who are on child support. Stuff happens. Okay, I get it. It's that Umar not only has he abandoned his children and he's an absentee father, he does not pay child support on time, and he complains about it too. I have video evidence of that too, where he actually self-exposes about how he doesn't pay on time. His docket proves that. Real quick, if I'll show you guys the docket, one of the things that you guys will see over and over again is that where it says generic order. So if you look here, you see how it says generic order over and over and over again. Okay. And again, I have 4 screens, or 3 or 4 screenshots from this baby mama. And then here's from the baby mama number 1. You see the generic orders over and over again. All right, here's another one from the second baby mama. You don't see, this was real brief, but there's a reason for it. I don't want to get into that right now. Here's generic orders again. Generic orders. Okay, what that means is that the court is trying to find out where Umar Johnson is employed so that they can garnish his paycheck for child support. So anytime you see generic order, that means that they could not find Umar's employment. And yet Umar Johnson is saying that he's a school psychologist. Okay. Now one could argue, well, what about all the money that he raised? Wouldn't that be part? They can put in a wage garnishment on that? No, because what Umar Johnson has done is he set it up to where he's not being paid through this FDMG school scam, even though he's used most of the money on himself. This is how diabolical he is. He's not being paid on paperwork. Because you look at his IRS filings, he put 0 for how much money he's making, as if all of the money is going towards this project. No, most of the money is going towards Umar. So I'll propose that Umar Johnson, he set this up so that he is receiving money, but it's not on paper being shown legally that he's being paid himself. And so For all of these years, even going back to when Umar said that he was a school psychologist, even back then, they couldn't find his employment. There's only, from my memory, there's only like there's probably about 5 times where they were able to find his employment. And the way that you can tell, and they did that because Umar wasn't paying child support, so they put an attachment to get that money to go back to the child. And then after that, they put in an order there's a term for it, I can't remember it right now, where they released the wage attachment or the attachment for, and there it is right there, order employer to modify income attachment. You can see it right there. But then there's also at the very top, order employer to terminate income attachment. See, but that goes back to 2005. See, what you will see if you look at all of these different child support dockets, you will see generic order. And at a certain point, that's all you see because he's not working anymore, but he is collecting money for FDMG. And most of that money he spent on himself, just diabolical. He'll let his children go without. And he set this up and he structured it this way so that ultimately he can keep as much money to himself and use it on most of the money on himself and then not have wage garnishments to pay child support. Diabolical. And this is the person that they brought to speak to these fifth graders. All right. And then Iceman Vamp says, Umar been scamming so long, Lenon got files on Umar saved on floppy disk. No, I have a whole bunch of old hard drives, and there's probably videos on there that I probably need to get and pull up for the documentary that weren't online when I went to go research again. Because there's a lot of videos, even that I downloaded, let's say, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, that they're not online anymore, but I have it all archived, and then I have notes on those videos too. Some of those videos appear inside the documentary. But then there's videos from even way back in the day, Iceman Vamp, where those videos, they're not online anymore either. They're just on floppy drives, and I would have not floppy drives, floppy disk. They're just on some hard drives. I got a gang of them, and I'll have to go through and find those and then organize them on my main computer. Anyway, thanks, Iceman Vamp. Yeah, y'all remember floppy disk? I was looking at some because I always do. I look at old tech. You know, so I would buy it just to have it, but I don't want to spend the money because I would have it and I would just kind of like, like I collector stuff and just put it on shelves or whatever. That's what I would, because I'm like that. I'm like a geek when it comes to that stuff. And it'd be old stuff. Sometimes you can find stuff that's still functional. Like I saw like an Apple computer from way back in the day and it was turned on. You know, so like it's still functional. It's not functional like in 2026 where you can get on the internet like that, anything like that. But there was these 2 old school Apple floppy drives, and then there was a case of different floppy drives, and I was like, I wish I can get that. I mean, I could, but I ain't gonna spend no money on that. Anyway, thanks, Iceman Vamp, for the super. Also, thanks, Louis Tuck as well. Okay, let me give you guys one more example, and then we're gonna get back to the main video. Here we go.
19, Umar Johnson promoted the murder of 10% of black boys.
I'm saying that to say this. I've never taken a life, God forbid. I hope I never have to. But if we're going to take them streets back, we got to admit something. I'm talking as a psychologist. Some of our young men, we've let them go so far for so long, they're no good to no damn body. There's people walking these streets where we're going to have to put to sleep. In other words, you might.
See, he's a psychopath. Who talks like this? This is a person you're going to bring to speak to fifth graders? I mean, that's psychopath. Psychopaths, that's how they think. Who talks like that? Now, if it was a white man, now everybody got a problem. It's racism, white supremacy, Black Lives Matters all of a sudden again. But Umar says that he gets a pass.
I have to create violence to end it. It will be a cataclysmic.
You ain't gonna bust the grape, you old goofy. He's such a goofy.
Altercation between black men and some of our youth. Most of our youth, we can get them. But there's some of them, they ain't going without a fight. And they're going to have to be put to bed. It's a shame. It ain't their fault. You understand? But
okay, listen, this kind of stuff, it really does bother me. And part of the reason why, because I grew up around people who was in the streets. I wasn't in the streets, but I had plenty of family members, close family members, cousins out there in the street, uncles that was kind of doing stuff too. But then a lot of friends. So to hear someone talk like this, it really bothers me.
Have a population of unreachables. The white man wants us to think they all unreachables. 90% are reachable. 10%, we will have to have a civil war with them. And that's facts. Don't give your guns back. Buy some more. Don't give your guns back. Buy some more. Don't give your guns back. Buy some more.
Umar Johnson.
Boy.
Johnson encourages black people to buy more guns in preparation for his Black Civil War against 10% of black boys. This would mean that Umar Johnson wants to murder 1 out of every 10 black boys in the United States of America.
How we gonna stop the violence? Nigga, you got to get in their face. Nigga, you got to get in their face.
Look at his hand gesture.
Nigga, you got to get.
He's a psychopath. And look who he's pointing to. Anyone see that? Just the irony of this. Who is he pointing to, by the way? Psychopathic deadbeat. Who's he pointing to? He's pointing to Marcus Garvey. Yeah, he a sissy. He is. He's a, what we used to call he a punk. He is sissified, big time. And I know people don't get it twisted. I know I look a certain way and I dress in shirts. I dress in nice shirts and I wear my glasses. These are linen shirts too, by the way. But don't get it twisted. Okay. Anyway.
In their face. You got to get in their face. You see what I'm saying? So yes, there got to be a collective and we got to go to the streets, and I'm all for that. It's the only way to do it.
I'm not going to be able to psychologize all them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep. For God! For God! For God!
All right, he's a psychopath. All right, let's get back to the main video. Here we go.
Your first job is to teach your children discipline. And I want you to understand what Dr. Umar's definition of discipline is. Because as someone who tests children for mentally gifted every day, as someone who evaluates children for autism and ADHD and reading disabilities every day, I'm here to tell you, Pittsburgh, just like I tell your counterparts down in Philadelphia, in Lancaster, Chester, Coatesville, Reading, I tell them the same thing. Most of our children don't have learning disabilities. They have lazy disabilities.
It's a horrible thing to say about black children. Yeah, did he say every day? He be lying? Let me go back. I missed that, Chris. Hold on.
Discipline. They need to believe in something that is absolute. Say thank you because your job was not easy.
No, it wasn't.
Your job was not easy. You had to pay the bills. Mm-hmm. You had to keep the lights on. You had to pay for the graduation pictures. You had to pay for the field trips. Gas to pay Paul to put a smile on your baby's face. I want the parents to know I know you struggled to get here. I know you went through hell to get here today. Some of you dealing with the loss of friends, the loss of loved ones. Some of you dealing with medical problems of your own. Some of you dealing with the everyday challenges of being someone of color in the United States of America. I understand the challenges. So we don't just celebrate your children. We celebrate you too. But parents, your job is just getting started. You got 7 more years. And when these babies get to 6th grade in the fall, in the summer, your job has only begun. And the first thing I want to tell my parents right from the beginning, I say this to you as a school psychologist, listen to me well.
He's not a
Your first job is to teach your children discipline. And I want you to understand what Dr. Umar's definition of discipline is. Because as someone who tests children for mentally gifted every day.
He's such a liar. Damn, this guy be lying. Yeah, this is new. This is from 4 days ago. 5 days ago. Most people they don't even know about it. James is the one that sent it to me. Umar posted about it, but I don't know where James got the video. Some of these videos, I'll be wondering where James get them from. I'll be like, where did you get this video from? What else I gonna say? Umar, he's such a liar. He's not testing anybody. He's not testing any kids. Where? He doesn't have his own office. He ain't testing inside no schools. He don't even have any certifications. That's professional certifications, let alone license. He don't have no. He's never been licensed. But he gets up here and he lies to these people blatantly. But he does this all the time, and people, they believe this foolishness. Tawana says, this dude is dangerous and a plague to everyone who follows him. I agree. He's very dangerous. A lot of what he talks, what Umar Johnson has done is he's weaponized his degrees against the black community. It's called the appeal to authority. So when he says things like I have 6 degrees, he wants his followers to appeal. They're going to appeal to him. It's appealing to them, in other words. But ultimately, they're going to concede to him because they see themselves in a subservient position relative to him. You guys see what I'm saying? Because he's the one who has all these degrees. Then on top of that, he lies all the time. He says, I'm a professional this, I'm a school psychologist. No, he's not. I'm a child therapist. He's never been a therapist, never been licensed as a therapist. He hasn't been trained to be a therapist. He has no certifications to be a therapist either. He's never worked as a therapist. I'm a child psychotherapist. No, he's not. He says I'm a family therapist. No, he's not. See, but he's weaponized his degrees because people, they see the degrees. He says he has 6. He actually has 5. But they see the degrees as, okay, that means that he's better than I am, that he's more knowledgeable than I am, that he knows more than I do. And therefore, I should put myself in a subservient position to him. It's like a master-slave dynamic. And whatever he says, I'm going to believe. Okay. But what if what Umar Johnson says is inherently wrong or disruptive or dangerous? Okay, that's a serious problem. See, I'll propose that if Umar didn't have the degrees, would nobody give a shit about what he got to say? He would just be a bum from Philly, which he is. But see, he's crafted this for decades now. He's manipulated people. He's weaponized his degrees. He said he had degrees at a time where he didn't. Like, for instance, his PsyD. He was saying that he had his PsyD years in advance when in fact he didn't. There's a document that I haven't been able to verify, so I'm not going to include inside the documentary from 2007, where it lists Umar as doctor. Sound like Cheyenne Bryant. That's what it sounds like to me. So anyway, he is dangerous, and one of the reasons why he's dangerous because of the appeal to authority. He's presented himself as the authority figure, even though he's not, and he's not functional in society. He's not a professional, but he'll get up here and tell people in 2026 that he's doing evaluations every single day. He's not doing any evaluations, let alone every single day. He's such a liar. Prove it. I want any of you Umar Johnson followers to provide me with a receipt of Umar providing professional psychological services in 2026, 2025, 2024, 2023, 2020. 2021, 2022. I'll wait. You can't do it, and Umar can't do it either. That's why on his child support docket, it says generic order, generic order, generic order, generic order, with very few exceptions. So I think he worked as a school principal for about 3 months in 2017, I believe it was. He was a school principal. Okay. Thanks, Tawana, for the super chat. How's it going, guys? With the princess? I'm testing kids every day. Yeah, he lies so much. And every day would be every day. That would be 7 days a week. So when Umar's traveling, when he's over in Africa for a month, is he testing kids every single day? Umar, he's a trip, and people be falling for this foolishness. It's crazy. Thanks, guys, little princess. Every single day. The only thing you're doing every single day is eating burger. Cut it out. TJ says, put to sleep for good. Yeah. You know, what was, not that it was funny, but a lot of people hadn't seen that when I put it in the documentary back in the day. People were shocked. Literally, there were people that were shocked by that. And what ended up happening is people went and found the original version that was online, and they started commenting, and they found out the part where he says for good, and they kept time stamping it. Because I went back to the video and I was laughing because I knew why. I knew why they put the timestamp on there. Okay, thanks, TJ. And then the traveler says, Dr. King, I have a dream. Malcolm X, Plymouth Rock landed on us. Umar Johnson, the yellow alien, walked up and punched me in the face, brothers and sisters. The unpopular Jedi has spoken. How's it going? That's unpopular Jedi. I seen in a minute. Umar wants to be on the level of a Dr. King, a Malcolm X, even a Marcus Garvey. But if you look at Umar, it's just a bunch of shenanigans with this guy. There's nothing professional about him. there's a lot of delusions with him. He lives in an alternate universe, if you will. Like he's psychotic. I hate using that term, but he is. That's a harsh term in my opinion, but it's true. He's psychotic. He's psycho. He tells a story about when he was a child and how he was punched in the nose by a yellow alien. He told that story, I think the first time that from my research was in 2022 or 2020. It could have been 2024, 2023 or 2024. Was it 2025? Might have been 25. I can find out. But the point is that you would think that at the age of 50 or 49, that he would have figured that out by now and would have been like, okay, maybe that's not a story that I should tell. Outside of if I told it, I would explain how it was a hallucination or it was my imagination, when I was a child. The thing is that Umar Johnson's imagination has gone unchecked, and he still has a childlike imagination in 2026. That's dangerous too, by the way. That's why the types of things that he proposes are so outlandish. They're going to build an observatory on top of these trapped bandos to see the surfaces of planets, as he says. They're going to train the boys to be Black Rambos. They're going to teach the boys how to float ships. They're going to teach the boys how to do archery and how to fly helicopters and how to fly airplanes. There's going to be a satellite FDMG located, meaning a satellite school located over in Africa, and then they're going to be taking the boys over there for a certain period of months out of the year and then travel back and forth. Recently, he says something else. I just found the video. I think I did that for members. I can't remember what he said, but it was crazy. Something he said they were going to do. Something, float ships, fly helicopters, was something else. I said, did he just say that? But that's because his imagination is crazy. It's out of control. So you have someone who is in a state of arrested development on many different levels, including emotionally, but psychologically, mentally, his imagination is still out of control. It's like a little child that would just make up stories, back in the day, and oftentimes a lie. That's why Umar, he lies for no reason sometimes. He's a pathological liar too. So that's dangerous altogether. Then he has these degrees that he's weaponized against Black people, and you put this all together, it's a dangerous mix. But still, if people did enough research on Umar, they should realize the truth very, very soon, And he's not a great leader. He's not a leader. Leadership is part of leadership is organization. He hasn't organized anything. He can't even organize his apartment, and then when he flipped the phone, living in filth as a hoarder. I mean, it's just crazy. Umar believes he's on that level. He's not. And then when he moves in with his mama in 2020, because he's homeless at the end of 2019, he moves in with his mama in 2020. He is hoarding all over again. He flips the phone inside the mama closet. Anyway, yeah, he's out there. All right, thank you, the Traveler / the Unpopular Jedi. Yeah, I was watching, what was it? I haven't been able to watch the whole thing. I go watch and I'll fall asleep, but I was trying to watch the new Disney thing, the Darth Maul series that's come out. Anyway, thanks the Traveler. And to the best of my knowledge, they haven't actually they had Darth Maul. No. Well, yeah. Anyway, thanks the Traveler. Okay, did I get to everyone with this? Okay, there's a couple more. Lewis X says he's a living, breathing contradiction. How are you talking about being a parent when you're a deadbeat? Yeah. How you a psychologist and you're a crazy with your crazy self? yeah. How you talking about vegan and you eat ice cream and everything else too? Umar, he will eat anything. I remember one time, it was last year, he was eating it was a big old thing of what do they call those sundaes, the ice cream sundaes. So it had a whole bunch. It was in the glass, but it was real high, and he had a straw in it. I wish I had that video. He took the thing and he just sucked it all right off. My God, I'm sorry. I know what y'all gonna say in the chat room. I didn't mean it that way. Honestly, I did not mean it. I didn't mean it to say it. I didn't mean that to go out. I didn't mean it to say it like that. I'm sorry. Anyway, he drank the whole thing straight up, and then people were clowning him about it, and then he took the video down. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was like a milkshake or a float or something like that. I don't know what happened there. I had a Diddy moment. I had a Diddy moment. All right. All right, that's why I had to say something, because if I didn't say something, y'all would have went on me in the chat room. It would have been far worse. I had to address it right away. Okay. Listen, I had to get out in front of that one. Take that. All right, that's enough. All right. Let's get back. Where were we? I forgot what we were talking about. Okay, thanks, Louis. Okay, so let me make my points on this right quick. So, yeah, he's always talking about parents and what black people need to do with their kids, but he's a deadbeat. Okay, he's a contradiction. He's batshit crazy, but he's a psychologist. Literally, he's batshit crazy. And then he always talking about vegan and raw food and how what they're gonna feed the kids, blah 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 at the school, but he will eat anything. And he's gluttonous too. He has a food addiction. Umar, he's gluttonous. That's why I need to lose a couple of pounds myself. I've been working on it. My doctor told me I need to lose about, I think he said 15 pounds. Okay. I still got maybe about 6 or 7 more to go. It's hard for some reason been stuck on. But there's a reason why he's obese. If you go back and look at older Umar Johnson videos, as you go back 2005, you can tell that it's not normal for him to be that overweight. It's one thing because we get older, we put on weight anyway, but he's obese. And part of the issue is that he has a food addiction and he will eat anything. A lot of the money that people have sent him for this school has gone right into his gut. See, if the IRS ever audited Umar and looked at his, what they call that, the Grubhub or I always forget the other one. That's the one that we use from time to time. Not Grub. We don't use Grubhub. Where they delivered the card. If they ever investigated that and see where that money was coming from, he would go to jail. Because it would show clearly that he's using money for food that's supposed to be going towards opening up a school. Yeah, Uber Eats. Thank you for the sake of logic. If they ever pull the Umar records for Uber Eats or DoorDash, it'd be a wrap. He got $1 million in the belly. You ain't raised $1 million? I don't know if it's $1 million, but it's going to be a lot. I'll tell you that right now. A gang. What's up, Sharif? It's going to be a gang of money. Yeah, one time Umar, he said Uber. Because he had them 6 degrees. He said, you guys get Uber. The Umar, it's not Uber, it's Uber. Okay. By the way, this is what I was talking about earlier right here. I thought it was Apple, but it wasn't Apple. It's Commodore. I was looking at these and my wife was like, why are you looking at that? And I said, look how beautiful that is. She said, what are you talking about? I said, look at that. And it's still functional because it had a description on it. I wanted to get this so bad, but I can't do that. Some of y'all like, Lenon's a weirdo. No, look how beautiful that is. That's the floppy disk from back in the day. Yep. Okay, then my first computer that I bought, it didn't have floppy disk. It had those hard disks, the square ones. I can't remember what those are called. Yeah, but then they had disk inside of them, which were the same disk in the floppy disk, but they were smaller and they had larger capacity. I had that, and then I had a CD-ROM on it. And then later on, I upgraded it to a rewrite for CD-ROMs. I didn't have DVD on at that time. It wasn't DVD. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a nice table piece. Because what I wanted to do was, Oregon Trail. Yeah. What I want to do is to get like shelving and just start collecting, but I just can't seem to. I could do it financially, but I got 5 kids. I wouldn't feel right about doing that. Maybe when I'm older and they get older, I can start collecting. The other thing is I'm frugal. Not just I'm frugal, but I'm a minimalist too. So that's another thing. But when I see that kind of stuff, it's beautiful to me. Thanks, Louis Suck. Also, thanks to Traveler, TJ, Gazo Princess, Tawana, Tig says FDMG fighting them Martians. Goddamn. What in the world? Goddamn. Okay. All right. Thanks, Tig. I haven't heard that one before. User 225 says Umar's milkshake brings all the Lenon. All right. Lenon, you are still using the Beta Mac. No. But that's another one. Like if I can get one of those, I would do it. I'm sure I could find it online because they be having good stuff on eBay too. I'll just get it just to collect it, and I'll open it up and look inside. That's what I would do. Yeah, Beta Max. Yep. Okay, let's get back to it, everybody. So I gave you some examples, but now we'll get back to the main video. Thanks everyone again for tuning on in. We're gonna be here for a while, so we're taking our time today. There is a poll question. Given Umar Johnson's history, should he be speaking to children? 5% said yes, 95% said no. Our goal for life today is 400. We are sitting at 315. So if at any point you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit that like button, okay? It helps also to get this out into the algorithm. Okay, let's get back to the main video. Here we go.
Who evaluates children?
Yeah, by the way, we have 920 people in the building. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out here in the Cookie Crush chat. Cookie Crush chat's undefeated. Love y'all.
For autism and ADHD and reading disabilities every day. I'm here to tell you, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I used to love that game. I used to love it.
Just like I tell your counterparts down in Philadelphia, in Lancaster, Chester, Coatesville, Reading, I tell them the same thing. Most of our children don't have learning disabilities. They have lazy disabilities. I've been evaluating children for 25 years. Every color.
He's lying. He's lying. See, he's 51, so this would go back to 26. But again, Umar only worked consistently from 2000 to 2006, and then from 2006 to 2010, and then his career is over with. He gives up his career. That's it. So at most 10, maybe 11 years, but he says 26. He's such, did he say 20? This guy, he lies so much, it's crazy.
Every race, every social economic class.
You lying. You ain't, cut it out. So cut it out.
And over 75% of every boy, every girl who sat across from me to get that IQ test. 75% of them who sat across from me to get that reading test, that math test, that emotional assessment, that behavioral measure. 75% of them had no learning problems at all. Their problem is they were lazy. And parents, I need you to make sure your children understand that laziness will not be accepted in your home. If the homework ain't done right, you make them do it over.
By the way, this is someone who don't even take care of his own kids, but he gonna tell black parents what they need to be doing with their kids.
They don't go outside until the chores are done. You got to teach your children discipline. And what is my definition? I want you to
okay, Umar's not disciplined himself.
Hear my definition. Because the reason why our children suffer is not.
Yeah, I remember AOL. I had AOL back in the day. I sure did.
Because they lack the potential. It's not because they lack the ability. It's not because they don't have the know-how. They don't have the desire.
Why are you screaming? Why are you up here screaming? It's supposed to be for the kids. Man, this is boy, I tell you, damn. King's Quest 7 was the game, Lenon. Sorry for the no, it's okay, it's all good. I don't remember King's Quest. Let me go look. Actually, I think I do. Actually, let me see. Oh, no. I've never played this. Yeah, this King's Quest, it's from 1994. Yeah, this is it's more like a animation type of a game. Yeah, I've never played this one. It almost looks like it's Disney. Is it Disney? Oh, it's Sierra. Oh, Sierra did this. Yeah, Sierra had some great. There was another game from Sierra that I think I used to play way back in the day. I can't remember what it was. A space game. No, it couldn't have been Sierra because most of their games are like knights and shining armor type of stuff. Yeah, that wasn't Sierra. It was another game. It was the game I used to play with my first computer. It was a space game. No, there is a space game, Space Quest. It wasn't that one, no. Yeah, that was that space game. I used to play that a lot. Yeah, they did, but they did have a space game. They produced one, but that's not the one that I remember. Anyway, yeah, I've never played King's Quest. Thanks, Chart Futures. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was deep into video games back in the day. Lenon texted his girlfriends using smoke. I used smoke signals back in the day. Okay, thanks. Thanks for all super chats. Let's get going. We got to make some progress here. Here we go.
Why our children suffer, it's not because they lack the potential. It's not because they lack the ability. It's not because they don't have the know-how. They don't
You're always screaming.
My definition of discipline is real simple. And don't you ever forget it. Discipline is the ability to do what you don't want to do when it has to be done.
Yeah, the game I was referring to was called Homeworld. I love that game. Yeah, back in the day. But that's the game I used to play on my first computer. It's called Homeworld. I thought it was Sierra, but it's not showing Sierra here. Yeah, they got Homeworld too. I think I got that on Steam, but I didn't like it. Okay, anyway.
Whether you like it or not. That is what you got to do with these babies to get them across that stage in 2033. Discipline. No excuses. One of the things that always puzzles me is when parents come into the school looking for special ed evaluation.
Okay, come to what school? He doesn't work at a school.
Dr. Umar, I think she got a reading problem. Dr. Umar, I think he got ADHD. Ain't no daddy at home disorder. Dr. Umar.
There you go.
Yes, sir. I think he needs some medication. Well, wait a minute now. If crack is no good.
He always bringing up crack. Let me give you guys some other examples. Yeah. This is a 5th grade graduation, but he's yelling. This is just him going off, ranting and raging. What's up, Enterprise? Ranting and raging. This ain't got nothing to do with no kids. This is not how you talk to kids. It goes to show you he's not an educator. Umar he just has no clue. He's just ranting and raging. Thanks, Enterprise. Hope you're doing all right too. Let me give. He always bringing up crack, and he bring up crack. Cocaine. I got a video. He be talking about crack, cocaine a lot. Need to cut it out. Yeah. Why are you bringing up crack? Yeah, he's gonna talk about the medication being like crack. That's what he's gonna say. Watch.
If speed is no good.
Here you go.
If opioids are no good, black mother and father, how can those other drugs be any good? Come on.
Why are you quitting the
Listen. There was no ADHD before 1987.
Listen, there was ADHD. It's just that they didn't have terminology to describe it. That's all that means, Umar. Are you stupid? There's a lot of things that back in the day they didn't have a definition. The research wasn't put in place for it, so they didn't have any idea. They would think it was something else. You guys know what I'm talking about? And we will put together a whole list, and not just in the mental health field, but just in general. So what are you talking about? That's like saying that once they found, let's say they found an element on the periodic table that they didn't know about before, that it just started existing once they found it. It is. It's just horrible. It really is. Yeah, Asperger's. There's plenty of other examples that we can come up with. Yeah, autism. Yeah. There was times where they would think that certain psychological conditions had to do with being possessed. But then later on, they figured out, this is what this was. So does it mean that all the other things that they just existed once they was able to figure it out? No, it existed before. Umar, he's so goofy. Yeah, he's like these 5-year-olds. Mama, my mother. He said speed. He said crack. What? These kids. What's an opioid, mama? Oh, baby, don't worry about it. He's just talking. That's Umar. You know, Umar, he just be running his mouth. Don't worry about it, baby. Right. This was in Pittsburgh. Yeah, it was in Pittsburgh. I think he gives the name of the school a little bit later on. I thought he gave it earlier on because what happened was I watched like the first part. I got frustrated and I skipped through it. I thought I heard him say the school name or something like that. Did he already? He may have already said it. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy. It was in Pittsburgh on June 12th. Yeah, I have it for June 11th, but it may have been June 12th. Okay. How is this appropriate for a 5th grade class? Yeah, it's thoroughly inappropriate. These poor kids are being traumatized by this goofy running his mouth. Thank you, TJ. Enterprise also says they didn't have definitions for autism before 1985. Yeah, but there's a lot. But see, now will we say that autism didn't exist before that? No. So there's plenty of other things that they didn't have an understanding about, didn't have clear definitions of until more recently. There's definitions that change over time too. That's why the DSM-5, at a certain point, they're going to change stuff in there again, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the point is that there'll be things in the future that they have been able to identify these days. And then but does that mean that in the future, once they identify that that's when it first started? No. So Umar, it's amazing that people believe this guy, It's just ridiculous. Okay, let's keep going here. Well, I want to give some more examples. Let's play a little bit more and I'll give some more examples. Thanks, Enterprise.
There was no ADHD before 1987. The American Psychiatric Association invented it in 1987.
No, they didn't invent it. By the way, Umar admits that he has ADHD. I can pull it up and provide you guys with the receipt. It's in the documentary. He admits that he has ADHD. Let me go pull that up. I'll let this play.
Is that a coincidence? Same decade as the mass incarceration of black fathers.
Okay, again, this is conspiracy theory thinking where you're drawing connections between things that have no connection to each other whatsoever. Okay, that's what he's doing here.
They came up with the drugs to placate the boys while they mass incarcerated the fathers. He don't need drugs, he needs his daddy. He don't need drugs, he needs some discipline.
Look who's talking. He's a deadbeat. He don't take care of none of his kids.
He don't need drugs. He needs some direction. He don't need drugs. He needs some dedication. He don't need drugs. He needs a new diet. Too much sugar, too much caffeine, too much high fructose corn syrup. You can't give him Captain Crunch and Fruity Pebbles and expect him to sit still all day when he pumped full of sugar. Take the sugar out the kitchen, mothers and fathers.
Look who's talking. This guy be online consistently eating sugar-filled snacks and shit, including zebra cakes. One time I got zebra because we did a skit. Well, not a skit, but we had a live stream where we did an anniversary for the FDMG opening. So, you know how we do it. I had cake and everything, and so I put zebra cakes up there because that's what he likes. He likes Seagram's. He likes the soda, whatever it's called, Seagram something. Ginger ale. He likes zebra cakes. He likes Twizzlers. Twizzlers are vegan too, I think, from what I remember. At least some of them. They have different kind now. But yeah, he likes zebra cakes and nutty butters or something nutty butter and there's a couple of other ones that he likes. The Cinnabon something. But the point is, I put it in the pantry after the show was over with because I thought the kids might want to eat them. And some of my kids, they said it's too sweet. They couldn't even eat them. In fact, I still think they down there. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna go see. I think it's still down there. Ooh, that's one of Umar's favorite. Umar, he eats sugar. Nutty buddies. That's what he calls it. And little Debbie zebra cakes and buddy cream. Yeah, one time he said buddy cream. One time Umar said buddy cream after he said nutty buddy. I said, oh Lord. I said, what have we gotten ourselves into? Anyway, my kids, they won't eat that stuff. We used to eat it when we was kids, though. It was like a treat bag of the day. But these days, my kids, they don't eat cereal. I was shocked by that. I used to get them different kinds that I used to like. They wouldn't even eat it. Anyway, thanks, Enterprise. And then East Point said, poor kids wish I could see the parents' faces. Yeah. I mean, real talk, this whole speech, it's just Umar running off of the mouth and trying to sound as if he knows what he's talking about. But a lot of what he's saying, he's just making it up. Oh, it's not made the same? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, maybe that the cereals now. And I would think so, because that was when I was a kid. So yeah, they probably do different stuff to it now. Thanks, East Point. Okay, I want to give you guys some examples. I also have the video where Umar Johnson admits that he has ADHD. I just have to find out. Okay, this is from chapter. Okay, yeah, I'll pull it up. I'll find it. Okay, let me give you guys some more examples of why Umar has no business being around children. Here we go.
As I said earlier, there will be a long day for every grade. The long day for second graders, where they will have dinner.
Yeah, I played this part before with another video, but I'll play it again.
In their business suit, with their class and class teacher and their school principal will be Tuesday. Third graders, their long day will be Wednesday. Fourth graders, their long day will be Thursday. Your students will be dropped off to their homes following the dinner and fireside chat with Dr. Umar Johnson. The fireside chat is a post-dinner activity where your sons and I will cuddle near the fireside, where your sons and I will cuddle near the fireside, where your sons and I will cuddle.
All right,
I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep. Fuck that! Fuck that! Fuck that!
You may be wondering, how is it possible for Umar Johnson to have such a negative orientation towards black boys? The truth of the matter is that Umar Johnson's general attitude towards black children is extremely negative. Umar Johnson has referred to black children as nigglets, which is an extremely demeaning racial slur.
Apples don't far from trees. When I see kindergarten students competing over who got the best sneakers, who had more money spent on them for Christmas, you're not born with that. You learn it. When I see first graders calling each other ugly, you too black, you too yellow, your hair too nappy, your lips too, right? They weren't born with that. They learn it at home.
Yeah, I think Umar's projecting here.
We are breeding nigglets. That's exactly what we're doing.
While speaking about black.
Okay, why would you have someone speak in front of fifth graders who are black children, and he refers to black children as nigglets? Let's keep going.
Girls that have been raped and molested, Umar Johnson said the following.
Girls who are molested go on to develop thottish personality disorder.
Yeah, this is disgusting right here. Why would you have this guy come to speak to fifth graders? Listen how he talks to victims, talks about victims, little girls.
Thottish personality disorder. This is my disorder. I made it up. Thought. We all know what a thought is. That hoe over there.
Umar Johnson, a self-proclaimed school psychologist, clinician, school principal, and family therapist, has such disdain for black girls that have been raped and molested that he defines them as hoes. A hoe is a sexually promiscuous female, a prostitute, a whore.
And they start over-sexing to deal with the trauma. They start over-sexing. They'll start having a lot of sex, trying to drown out the trauma of the rape and the molestation. And
yeah, man, this is disgusting. He's so dangerous. And they had this guy talk to fifth graders. Yeah, it is. It's horrible.
They develop thottish personality disorder. That's when she's quick to have sex. She's quick to have sex. She get trains ran on her.
Why would you even think something like that about a little girl, but then you also speak it?
Multiple orgies, multiple head jobs.
And they brought this guy to speak to fifth graders. Again, the people who had him there, you should be ashamed of yourself. In fact, I find you to be disgusting too. I hate talking about people like that, but you're disgusting for having this disgusting person come to speak to those kids.
Multiple orgies, multiple head jobs, multiple orgies, multiple head jobs, thottish personality behavior. A lot of black girls and black women
Black women suffer from thottish personality disorder.
Umar Johnson had this to say about black women who have been date raped.
And black women, this is why I tell black, don't play around with sex on the date if you're not giving none up. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. I've heard about too many rapes that took place because you want to play. You want to entice the man with sex. You want to arouse him, but you don't plan on having sex. Don't play with a man sexually. And you don't even know him. You don't even know this man. You enticing him, touching his genitalia, allowing him to touch your genitalia, kissing you on the neck, getting undressed. If you know you're not having sex, why y'all in the bedroom? Don't play.
See, this is the language and the philosophy of sexual predators.
The bedroom. Don't play. Our daughters love being alone with men they don't know with their hot asses. Our daughters love being alone with men they don't know after the frat party.
See, again, Umar don't even take care of his daughter, but why would he be talking about people's daughters like this?
With their hot asses.
You know your daughter? So when she go up there, you know she a little hot? All she gonna do is pop cookies? Don't sit up! Y'all sending lazy kids to college. I don't understand y'all. Some of them kids, I say, why are you here? Why are you here? Your 16-year-old daughter? She ready to bake a damn cookie. Her hormones is firing off and she need to holler.
See, why would you be talking about girls like that? Just sexualizing them in that way.
We will have girls on the tour next year.
Okay.
The reason I'm not doing girls this year is because you know when you bring that masculine and feminine energy together, especially during the teenage years, it's going to be some thirst. And I don't want nobody's daughter coming back to Chicago pregnant.
Now, why would you be talking like that?
We was all teenagers before, and we all went to camp. And what did you do? You waited for the camp director to fall asleep, and it was perfect. And that means, sisters, y'all gonna have to check the women. Y'all gotta get with them teenage girls. Y'all didn't raised all nasty acting.
And I'm gonna tell you something else y'all do that I don't like. Some of you, not all of you, and hopefully not most of you. The younger sisters, a lot of black women do not take younger sisters under their wing. How the hell you jealous of a 16-year-old? So what? Her behind is bigger than yours. So what?
I've heard about too many rapes that took place because you want to play. You want to entice.
Again, why would he even throw that out about and talk about the girl's backside like that?
The man with sex. You want to arouse him, but you don't plan on having sex. Don't play with a man sexually. And you don't even know him. You don't even know this man. You enticing him, touching his genitalia, allowing him to touch your genitalia, kissing you on the neck, getting undressed. If you know you're not having sex, why y'all in the bedroom? Don't play.
Dr. Umar?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I connected with him over the phone, and he came to see me. Like, one thing about me is I guess I'm too accommodating. You know, and people take advantage of me because they see that I got, mental problems, with the stroke and all. Can I be honest with you?
You can be very honest.
Okay. Dr. Umar made me and then he told me he didn't want to talk about nothing.
Okay, by the way, I haven't verified any of that. I don't know this woman. I haven't been able to get in contact with her or, talk. But I'm putting it in here and I share it just to give an example of there are a slew of allegations that have come out dealing with Umar that are extremely troubling. And given how he talks, he tends to talk in perverted terms about black women, about black girls, and in some cases about black boys. It becomes evident to me that he has no business being around children in the first place, and he shouldn't be speaking in front of fifth graders, period. All right, I'll provide some more examples in a little bit. Let's get back to the main video. Here we go.
I want all parents to promise me this. Your children will read a book a week all summer.
Okay.
Every week, a new book. You got public libraries in Allegheny County. Take them to the public library. Every week, a new book. And why does Dr. Umar want you to make sure these young men and women read a book a week? Turn off Facebook. Turn off Snapchat. Turn off Instagram. Turn off TikTok.
Yes. Turn it off.
Do you see the research? They're saying that the black and the white children in America are losing academic ground because of social media. They can no longer focus because of social media. So every night in your house, there should be a quiet hour. It's the holy hour. Everybody's
Meanwhile, Umar doesn't even have his own place.
reading something, including you.
Yes.
One of the problems in our homes is it's never quiet. There's always noise. A TV is on.
He's been homeless since 2019. He got some nerve.
A radio is on. A laptop is running. An iPad is running. A cell phone is running. You need a quiet hour every day where everyone in the home reads. And if the children are too little to read, you read to them.
Yes.
Dr. Umar, why they need to read? I'm going to tell you why. When God created the brain, God created the greatest device ever designed. When you read, 4 things happen without you even trying. Your children learn new words without even trying. They improve their ability to talk without even trying. They improve their knowledge of facts and information without even trying. They improve their knowledge to communicate with the written word without even trying. If you just make them read, you will raise their test scores. And when
He ain't saying nothing deep.
they take the Pennsylvania State Assessment, when they take the PSSAs, scores are going to go up just because they were in those books. Mothers and fathers, our babies are like little caterpillars. You gave birth to them. And from birth until the 5th grade, they were learning how the world works.
All right, real quick. Let me get a copy of these super chats. I want to give you guys some more examples. Gospel says Umar ought to be ashamed of himself for stigmatizing neurodivergence. Meds help a lot of people. I have also found 5-HTP and L-theanine to be helpful. Yeah, he's dangerous. I've talked about this in the past, that a lot of his rhetoric, and I could just use an example of where he says that ADHD does not exist, that there are parents who took Umar Johnson's advice and did not have their children tested for ADHD, and or had them tested for ADHD, but then decided not to have psychological services provided for their children, which may include medication. And they decided not to do that because of Umar Johnson's rhetoric. Okay, that's dangerous. Okay, he's dangerous. And again, the reason why people believe anything that he says, or a lot of the people's appeal to authority, he's weaponized his 6 degrees. Functionally speaking, in society, he's a bum. Literally. He don't have a job. He doesn't have a car. Doesn't have his own place. He's also a deadbeat. But people take his advice, and he's still telling people in 2026 that he's a school psychologist. He's not a school psychologist. Again, I challenge anyone out there to prove to me, show me the right paperwork, show me the receipt, and it should be up here inside at least one of the databases in Pennsylvania that will show who is a school psychologist, or who is a psychologist, or who has a professional certification. You're not going to find Umar in any of those databases. But I challenge people, if you can find that for me, or show me where Umar Johnson works in 2026, I'll cash up you $250 or PayPal. But yeah, he's done a lot of damage in these regards and given a lot of horrible advice. Again, he says he's been saying this since at least 2000. He's been saying since at least 2011 that ADHD doesn't exist. It could have been prior to that, but I think 2011, ADHD does not exist. And yet, let me play something for you guys. Check this out.
He was created by Wall Street drug companies to get rich off black single-parent mothers, absence of daddy from the home disorder.
Now, before I switch to my next slide, I want to talk about ain't no daddy at home disorder. Ain't no daddy at home disorder. I can't stand ADHD. And y'all love ADHD because y'all don't want to teach your kids how to act no more. You'd rather let the pill do it. My father was a drill instructor for the United States Marine Corps. Do you really think I could have came home and said, Daddy, I think I need some medicine. I can't pay attention in class. You know what would have happened to me?
See, by the way, his daddy wasn't present consistently in his life. He lived with his dad down in, I can't remember if it was South or North Carolina, Fort Bragg, I think it was called, for about, it was less than 2 years. So Umar, this is another part of the fantasy land that he lives in, where he thinks that somehow his father being present in his life for a very limited period of time. And again, his father was in the military. So even when he wasn't living with his father was, again, I just pulled it up. He was stationed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Okinawa, Japan, Virginia, Jacksonville, North Carolina, Quantico, Virginia, etc. Umar was in Philly, in Pennsylvania, but he did move down for a short period of time to live with his father after his father married his mother in around 1981. But then within the course of 2 years, they divorced, and then Umar moves back to Philadelphia. Umar's father, Jamal, was never consistently present. I think that's another one of the standards too, that too many black men have accepted, that somehow if you're in your children's life, let's say once a month or twice a month or 2 times a year or whatever, that means that you're truly an active participant. And it's different these days because we have the internet, cell phones, but we're talking 1981, 1980, 1984, moving on up. So this is one of the delusions that Umar Johnson has, that somehow his father was consistently present. But again, I think it's just a standard that Umar Johnson has accepted. So I think Umar uses that to justify why it is that he's a deadbeat, but he still considers himself to be a good father. See? Let's keep going.
But when daddy ain't home no more, daddy's in jail or wherever he at, now the mother got to be the daddy too. She can't do all that by herself. The discipline is going to get missed, and the psychiatrist is going to step in. Our kids do not need pills to pay attention. It's the biggest hoax that's been put on y'all.
ADHD, ain't no daddy at home disorder? Yes. That's somebody's opinion. That's right, ain't no daddy at home disorder. That's all it is.
Well, during last week's call, a parent brought up a question, and she wanted to know how she could advocate for her 7-year-old who was in first grade and diagnosed with both a learning disability and subsequently ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I'm bringing this up because I get very angry and upset. I understand our parents don't know, but I need you parents to start being a little bit more suspicious of anything the school system suggests you do with your children. I've told you, ADHD does not exist. ADHD is a lie. ADHD is a con game.
Do you know what ADHD really stands for? ADHD really stands for Ain't No Daddy at Home Disorder, ADHD. You give a boy a daddy, you ain't got no more discipline problems if the father is active.
Now let's go to ADHD. Your son has Ain't No Daddy at Home disorder.
Come on.
Let me say it again. ADHD is Ain't No Daddy at Home disorder.
Again, this is manipulation because it appeals to single mothers who have their children don't have their fathers in the home. That's why they, okay. See?
Let me say it again. ADHD means Ain't No Daddy at Home disorder.
ADHD, it's a joke. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. No, it's not. It's Ain't No Daddy at Home disorder, ADHD.
Although Umar Johnson has consistently stated that ADHD does not exist, he has also stated that he has ADHD.
See how much I can move with that mic. I got ADHD, I move a little bit.
You see the criteria for ADHD? Is regular childhood behavior. Can't pay attention. Loses things necessary to get his work done. Blurts out answers. Is often on the go. Driven by a motive. That's me every day.
I'm sorry, I went on the ADHD tangent. I got some Adderall, Strattera, Concerta.
I was ADHD my whole life. I got 6 degrees. If I can make it, why can't your son make it? If ADHD...
You hear what he said? See, a lot of what, that's one of the reasons like Umar is dangerous and he's psychotic. It's like he's delusional because he has many different issues and a lot of different mental health issues, and everyone does to some degree. Okay, I'm hyper vigilant, especially when it comes to kids. They don't even got to be my own kids. I'm just hyper vigilant. Umar admits that he had ADHD and he still does. Okay, he still has it, but then he's been telling black people for decades that ADHD does not exist, that it doesn't exist, and that if black children have their fathers in their lives, then they wouldn't have ADHD. But he's the person, like many of us, who didn't have our fathers in our lives, and he's the one who has ADHD. And I'm not saying we as in me and Umar are the same. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I understand what it's like to not have a father, but there are people who have fathers in their lives and they have ADHD. There's people who don't have their fathers in their lives and they have ADHD. There's people who have fathers in their lives and they don't have it. And there's people that have their fathers, not fathers not in their lives and they don't have it. But he's been telling people that it doesn't exist. That's dangerous. And then he admits that he has it. So how could it not exist if you have it, Umar?
It's regular childhood behavior. Can't pay attention. Loses things necessary to get his work done. Blurts out answers. Is often on the go. Driven by a motive. That's me every day.
I'm sorry, I went on the ADHD tangent. I got some Adderall, Strattera, Concerta. I was ADHD my whole life. I got 6 degrees. If I can make it, why can't your son make it? If ADHD was around when I went to school, I would have been drugged up. And for any parent in here who thinks their son needs medicine, I'm living proof that you don't. I was an ADHD kid. I never had the diagnosis, but I've always had an issue with inattention and hyperactivity. And I made it through school just fine, 6 degrees, PhD. I needed no drugs.
Umar Johnson admits that he has undiagnosed ADHD. He also claims that ADHD does not exist. How can Umar Johnson claim that he has undiagnosed ADHD when ADHD does not exist? In this next clip, Umar Johnson...
All right. So you guys see the logic there? Okay. He's dangerous. Darius says, have you heard of Devon Marquette? He donated to Umar back in 2011. Yeah, I think you're talking about the guy because he was in last year. He came into and visited a couple of times last year. Yeah, there's a lot of people who donated to Umar who are now Umar Johnson critics. See, one of the lies that Umar Johnson has told, he says that his donors aren't his critics. And part of this, he tells people that his donors, they know what's going on with the money because he updates them. But there's donors up in here right now that donate, people who donate to FDMG, and I can do a poll question right now. It says, how many times has Umar ever given you guys any updates on the money situation? And the answer is no. Umar lies about that. So what has happened over the years is that there's people who used to be supportive of Umar and they became critics because they realized that he's a scammer. But then there's also people that were supporters of Umar and donated. And because of the fact that Umar has not provided any transparency, historically speaking, and still does not to this day, people start asking questions. And once they start asking questions, they start doing the research. Once they do the research, they realize very quickly that he's a scam artist. He's a con man. See? So there's people in the chat room right now who donated to Umar. Okay, and I can even ask the question as a poll question: would you donate to Umar in 2026? I'll propose that 99.9% of them, let's just say 99% of the people up in here would be like, no, I wouldn't donate to Umar in 2026. See, Umar has been at this for such a very long time. We're talking tens of thousands of people. No, it's more than that. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people over the years who have believed in Umar, and they may have supported him to different levels. Some of them maybe not so much, but then there's people that donated to him. Most of those people, they don't believe in Umar anymore because they've done their research, including people who donated to Umar. Again, like I said, there's people up in here that donate to Umar. I've had people back in the day, I used to have people call into the show and they donate to Umar. They wouldn't donate to him again. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, more and more people are realizing the truth, and the more the better. Right? James says Umar is the man that would just take. I can't see what you're saying. I thought you were, because I was saying earlier about the Diddy stuff. There's been allegations. Now I played an audio clip, but there's been some other allegations too from a young lady. But I made a decision. Was it the beginning of this year or last year? No, I think it was last year, if memory serves me correctly. That I won't be getting into that, and I won't be having that stuff in the documentary either. I may. There's some things I will have dealing with, like Zora, because I think that's an excellent case of because we have video footage of her with Umar, and remember she was inside the gym. Yeah, I think she was rubbing sweat off of his face or something like that, and she was a big time Umar. That's another one. She was a big time Umar Johnson supporter. I don't know if she donated, but she was a big time Umar Johnson supporter. But then they had a falling out, and Umar went off in that Zora rant. That's another person that realized the truth about Umar. But there's another young lady who talked about her experiences with Umar, and allegedly she was intimate in how that went down. She talked about that a bit. But again, Umar's language, his verbiage, it sounds like an abuser. James, you saw that clip in the documentary. It's disturbing. Where Umar's given, and a lot of people haven't seen this. It'd be worth, and actually do a whole breakdown analysis of it, step by step. But that would be worth actually doing a live stream to cover at some point, maybe at a marathon or something. I know we got July 4th coming up. I got 2 days off. I may do PTO and get 3 days off, and we can hang out. In that, and you know what I'm talking about. It's the persistence only. If you guys haven't seen that yet, it's in the document. I did a whole breakdown for it, and it's available for members, that segment. But if you guys haven't seen that video, that's it's a classic one. And what I mean by classic, that's an excellent example of why Umar should not be around children too. He shouldn't even be around women. Be real, because he's using that platform as an opportunity to groom these women. And there's one part in there where he alludes, he kind of phrases it in a way that he has the power to just take it because he's stronger than a woman. And he says it as if he has that power. He's not saying it about somebody else. He says, I can, or something to that effect. Very disturbing. And you remember that, because that was crazy. It was crazy. Thank you, James. James also says Lance Scurv did that interview, and he confirmed that woman called in about Umar. I spoke. Oh, you did? Yeah, I haven't spoken with them. I don't know if you're still in contact with them. But if I was able to confirm with that woman, I would have it in the documentary. But I have to be careful and also have to be fair. If I can't verify a receipt or even an allegation, I'm not going to have it inside the documentary. Do I believe that went down? Absolutely. Okay. Another example is I have a receipt. I can show it to you guys too right now if you want me to. It's a receipt from 2007 where it lists Umar as I think it was from 2007, where they list Umar as a doctor, but he didn't have his doctorate in 2007. He didn't get his doctorate until 2012, but he was presenting himself as a doctor in 2011 and 2010 as well. So who's to say he wasn't doing that back in 2016? Anyway, I have that too. I won't have that in the documentary unless I can verify that document. I've been trying it's been over a year. Thanks, James. Yeah, and Lance Scurv was the guy who interviewed the woman that made that allegation. And she, from what I remember, she was a stroke victim and she was wheelchair bound and said that Umar took advantage of her. Okay. Again, do I believe her? Yeah. Okay. But again, I would have to verify. Thanks, James. Miranda says, I had a talented second grader who had ADHD. Dr. Psychologist and myself knew he was ADHD. I begged mom to take his baby to the doctor. Long story short, baby should be senior, but sophomore. Sad, man. Yeah. Yeah, because you can get psychological services that will help. And it doesn't mean that it always includes medication either. Sometimes it's coping mechanism or skill sets that need to be developed. You know, I'm the type of person where I'm hyper focused. Like if I focus on something, I can go at it for like 12 hours. Like when I do my editing and stuff, I can sit there for 12 hours and the time goes by like that. I'll get up to use the bathroom. I'll get up to get something to eat or something like that. I may go walk the dog real quick, but I'm right back on it because I get really focused like that. But I still also, one of the things I do, because I always have stuff to do, I have a list. So I'll write things down, and in general, I'll write things down in order of importance that need to get done throughout the day. And then I'll just check my list off throughout the day to make sure I get the stuff, everything that I need to get done during the day. Those types of things help when you have a busy schedule, or let's say you have a whole bunch of stuff, but you don't know where to get started or how to go about the process. So you can actually teach children those types of things, and it help them to kind of deal. It's just coping mechanism. Everyone got something going on. Everyone does, right? But it's a problematic when you have children who could benefit from professional psychological services, which Umar is not offering. But the parents decide not to get those psychological services, those professional psychological services, because of something that Umar said. And then children suffer because of it. He's dangerous. He's very dangerous. And see, he gets online and he talks about how he's saving all these children. No, he's caused more damage than anything else. And it's not just the damage that he's caused in these children's lives, because the children their parents are making decisions based upon Umar, his rhetoric, which is not backed by science. You don't hear Umar providing any professional sources. He's not peer reviewed. He's not published in any journals, anything like that. He's not even a professional. He's a bum from Philly. But it's also the impact that Umar Johnson has had, and he has, I hate using this term, but he has demonized the school system. Yeah, there's problems with the school system. Yeah, trust me. I got 5 kids. Y'all don't think I don't know about that? But he makes it seem as if every single teacher, every single counselor, every single vice principal, every single student aide or teacher's aide, every single principal, they're out to get your child. And that's simply not true. Every single school psychologist is out to get your child. That's simply not true. He's dangerous. All right. Thanks, Miranda. It is sad. Much love says ADHD, all donations hit the PayPal disorder. How'd you come up with that one? Let me check that one. ADHD, all donations hit the PayPal. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. I ain't heard that one. All donations hit the PayPal disorder. Okay. Thanks, much love. That was a good one. Giannis says, my father is so delusional, he would rather listen to a deadbeat to a point where he drove to Vegas and back, so in denial. Oh, I'm going to assume that you said he drove to Las Vegas to go see Umar and back. Yeah. I don't want to say anything negative about your father. We've talked about this in the past. It's an unfortunate situation. You know, the most important thing is that you're able to maintain a loving relationship with your father, regardless of Umar's influence. I mean, it's really sad. And I remember years ago, there was a woman, this one I would take calls, a woman who had called in and she was talking about how, I don't think she's around anymore, but she had called in and was talking about how her brother stopped talking to her. It was like a big family rift because he was an Umar Johnson supporter. And she learned the truth about Umar and was kind of talking to her brother about it. And basically he decided not to deal with her anymore. And see, just a sad situation. Umar is very polarizing. But in your situation, Giannis, and I'm just talking as a father, you don't want to allow someone like Umar to get in the way of your relationship with your father, even if you don't agree with your father's support of Umar. Okay, because Umar is not worth it. He's a deadbeat from Philly. He don't even take care of his own kids. So you have to kind of set all that aside and maintain that relationship with your father. Okay, thanks, Giannis. Okay, it's just sad. That's another example. It's just sad. User 225 says Umar Johnson asks a ladies for digits. He's not talking numbers. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, User 225. Scorpio Bay became a member. Thank you so much, Scorpio Bay. Okay. Thanks everyone for all the support. I appreciate it. Thanks to the Mom for handling business. Let's update on this poll, and then we're gonna start winding this down. The poll question, given Umar Johnson's history, should he be speaking to children? 5% said yes, 95% said no. We have 913 votes. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 before we get up out of here. We are at 402 likes. Okay, so we got to our like count today. Thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate it. All right, I want to give a couple more examples too. So here's a few more examples, proof as to why Umar should not be around children. And some of this I'll skip through because I've already shown some of this. Here we
have to wash them clothes. Because some of them are going to come in with the same dirty drawers on. We're going to have to wash them clothes. Because some of them are going to come in with the same dirty drawers on.
While speaking.
All right. So Umar's walking through these bandos. I believe this was in 2019. It could have been in 2020. I think I have the original video as well, so I can probably go and look it up. But he's talking about the children, in this case, the boys that are going to attend. Why would you talk about little boys like this here?
We're going to have to wash them clothes because some of them are going to come in with the same dirty drawers on.
Okay, why would you be talking about the children's underwear in the first place? But why would you go that low and say that they're going to come to the school with dirty underwear on? How would you know that they have dirty underwear on? It's just inappropriate. That's what you got to say after raising millions of dollars? Well, in 2019, in all fairness, he should have been at 1.6, maybe $1.8 million. Because by 2019, he should have been at 1.6, between 1.6 and 1.8 million dollars. He was at $1 million in at the beginning of 2017 after collecting money from the middle of 2014. Okay, so we're talking roughly 2.5 years. He was at $1 million. So by the time he gets to 2019, he should have been on $1.6 million, 1.8. At this point, 2026. This is about a decade later. He should be around $3 million. But after all of that, that's what you have to talk about. That's what comes up into your mind. I'll play it one more time. Just disgusting. Why would you bring someone out to speak to fifth graders when he's talking like this about kids?
Umar Johnson made the following inappropriate comments.
We're going to have to wash them clothes because some of them are going to come in with the same dirty drawers on. We're going to have to wash them clothes because some of them are going to come in with the same dirty drawers on. We're going to have to wash them clothes.
Horrible.
Because some of them are going to come in with the same dirty drawers on.
While speaking about disciplining the black boys that will be enrolled at his non-functioning school, Umar Johnson said the following.
See, at FDMG, there won't be no out-of-school suspension. Why would I send a black boy being raised by a single mother back home to a single mother? If she could do something about it, it would have been done. It's my job as a black man to deal with him. And because we are an independent school, I don't have to follow the rules of Detroit Public. See, I'm going to let your son know from the gate. You see all the brothers in here? You get out of line, my brother. Your mom coming here one time saying you was popping off at the mouth. We got a black room in the back. You understand? See, we ain't going to have no discipline problems. If we go pound your damn chest in, little boy. If we go pound your damn chest in, little boy. If we go pound your damn chest in, little boy.
Okay, this is psychopathic. Why would you have someone who talks like this speak to fifth graders?
Brothers and sisters, this is how I will teach to your children at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. This is how I will teach your sons at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. And if you have a problem with the way I talk, and if you have a problem with the way that I teach, and if you have a problem with the way that I preach, if you have a problem with my vernacular, if you have a problem with my oratory, if you have a problem with my black pride and my black consciousness and my black divinity, if there is anything about Umar Tunde, a.k.a. Jermaine Shoemake, a.k.a. the Prince of Pan Africanism, if there's anything about me that is unsettling to you, keep your children in that white-ass public school. Keep your children in that white-ass Catholic school. Keep your children in that fake-ass Black Hotep school. Keep them where you want to keep them. But if they come into FDMG, damn it, they gonna get a Marcus Garvey spanking.
If we gonna pound your damn chest in, little boy.
This year's gonna be all boys. And don't get me wrong, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have some sexual issues just with the boys. Because y'all know what type of climate we live in. Y'all remember when we went to camp? If you had a roommate, which was normal, you just had a roommate. I remember spending the night at my cousin's house, spending the night at my best friend's house. We was innocent. I wasn't into all this new stuff. But now I'm gonna have to screen the boys. Are y'all following me? Because I don't know what's going on. You set a room with another 10-year-old, he go in the room and take off his pants, he got a phone room with red hearts on it.
Why would that come into your mind? And that's the scenario that he creates, and then he verbalizes it. You guys think that someone who talks like this should be around children? This is what Umar's coming up with. Should he be speaking in front of fifth graders?
And then the thong song come on, sister.
Yeah, and it's again, the Black conscious space. It's so corrupt and no ethic or moral standards. Why are these people laughing about this shit? There's nothing funny about this. They want to blame white people, want to blame white supremacy, but white supremacy and white people ain't making Umar talk like this, and it's not making these black people laugh about this foolishness either.
So I'm gonna have to check the kids all night. I'm gonna have to check because I don't know who got the free EDs.
Yeah, he's talking about children.
Some of y'all sons are at that age where they beating their billy at night under the blanket, and y'all need to have a conversation.
Okay, why would you have someone who's talking like this openly? You would have them speak in front of fifth graders.
Because that adolescent masturbation thing is getting out of hand. In fact, every other call I get is from Mom. Dr. Umar, can you help? I think my son got a problem. Why? He beat Johnson to death last night. I think
Crazy.
Me personally, I don't think it's normal. I know in European culture, it's normal. When I was going through my doctorate program, they said it's normal.
Yeah, Umar has these issues, and listen, I think this is one of his addictions too, but he wants to pretend as if this is something that he's never done before. Perfectly natural, normal human development, sexual development, but Umar, I have a sense that that's something that he's preoccupied with. That's why he's talking about it, but he wants to pretend as if it's something that he's never done before. He even said that in 2025, he started talking about it at the age of 50, that he's never, cut it out.
Freud, it's normal. Carl Jung, it's normal. I'm sorry, God is my witness. I never masturbated as a child or as an adult. I don't think I think it is something that is born of a hypersexual culture.
I've never masturbated in my life. God is my witness. I've never masturbated in my life. I had a wet dream.
See, what again, boy, it's amazing. Why would people have this guy talk to fifth graders?
In 11th grade or 12th grade, one wet dream. I can't remember if that was 11th grade or 12th grade at the Scotland School for Veterans Children in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania.
This guy. One time? It's something, all right. Give me some more examples.
The black boys that he once enrolled at his non-functioning school is reflected in his views about black parents.
If you're raising black children, you cannot afford to be lazy, but a lot of us are. And I'm just going to be real honest here tonight. A lot of us are very trifling and a lot of us are very lazy. Neither adult in their life gives a shit. Excuse my French. That's the worst combination you can have. And a lot of our children have that combination. They have a lazy parent at home and they got a lazy teacher in school. 85%.
Again, this is someone who doesn't even take care of his own children.
Percent of the kids I test have nothing wrong with them. Nothing. They lazy as hell and the parents are too. Even when I was principal, I had to fight black parents. I want my son tested, Dr. Johnson. For what? Learning disability. Your son is in the 3rd grade. What do you mean? I think he got a learning problem. Well, the boy only been in my school for 1 year. In the school he came from, nobody learned. They ain't made AYP since AYP started. So why don't you give me a chance to work with your son? I want him tested. I'm not testing him because there ain't nothing wrong with him. His problem is your trifling ass. Get out my office. I don't want the kids coming back home to you because you part of the problem. You got Willie Lynch all in your system. White Jesus on the wall, teaching your kids to be multicultural, daughter looking like Beyonce, a head full of blonde ass weed. What the hell I want her coming back home to you for? She stay with me and the boys stay with me.
But the problem is you cannot teach what you do not have. And many of our children learn to be undisciplined by their undisciplined parents.
For every black mother in here, don't you ever, black sister, ever, in the rest of your life, go to your son's school with your damn pajamas on. What kind of hood rat, ghetto,
That means black mother. Don't go to the...
And we'll come back to this pajama mama rant. Just want to give some more examples of Umar and why it is that he has no business being around children or speaking in front of children. Let's get back to the main video. Thanks you guys again for tuning on in. We're going to start winding this down. Actually, we're doing real good on time. Actually, we're doing good. Here we go.
School in your damn pajamas. The next time I see a black mother, you know what? At the Frederick Douglass Market.
They crawl
I'm sorry, here we go.
a little bit. They start getting separated from you. Which is normal.
I'm sorry, for some reason it's not popping up.
Natural and healthy to become their own person. But when they get the middle school...
Oh, what's up, Information Man? Yeah, Information Man's in the building. Shout out to you. Salute, sir. Says, breakdown is obsession with sex, lacks impulse control. Umar has serious maladaptive coping mechanism issues. Yeah, you can really see it, in my opinion. Okay, you're the professional, but you can really see it when he talks about... Well, in the first place, he talks about sex unnecessarily, and it's incessant. So it's an obsession. Now, we're all adults. If there's a need to talk about sex, we can talk about sex. And I think that people should talk about sex. But when Umar infuses sex into the conversation unnecessarily, and he brings up sex when he's talking about children, or he brings up sex when he's talking about his school, or he brings up sex when he's supposed to be talking, giving a presentation about school psychology. He doesn't do that as much as he used to do, because he doesn't really talk about school psychology as much. But he'll bring up sex, and it's like random, out of the blue. Why does he do that? Well, one of his addictions is sex. Food, sex, substance abuse issues, addiction, gambling. Okay, we've identified quite a few, and I can pull up examples of this for everyone to see. Well, sex is a big one. That's why he's always talking about what? Cookies. Okay, cookies is a euphemism for vagina. You guys know that when I did the first documentary on Umar, I didn't know what he meant by cookies. No, I shouldn't. Let me take that back. When I first started, because I knew by the time I did the documentary, but when I first started reporting on Umar, I didn't even know what he meant. I was like, what does he mean by it? And people told me, I said, oh, that's because it's associated with, there's a comedian, I can't remember his name right now. And he wrote a book, Think Like a Woman, or Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man. And then he refers to the cookie, and the cookie is the vagina, or the vajayjay, right? Or the cooch, as I say. That's what we used to say back in Southern California. So we said coochie, but I'd say cooch. Umar, he has a propensity to talk about cookies, and it's just like out of the blue for no good reason. And then even further, you take, because it ties to food too, because cookies is a treat, but treats, it's a vajayjay, so it's sex, cookies. He's getting into his addictions. He's mixed them all up. One time I did a presentation on this. I had a whiteboard and everything and broke it all down. If you listen to Umar, he moves in between. So he'll say cookies, he'll say Cinnabons. Okay, this is all sexualized content. Okay, references, if you will. Cookies, Cinnabons, peach cobbler, blueberry cobbler. Okay, this is all vajayjay. It's all associated with sex, but it's also associated with food. It's all of his, these are just addictions. He just lumps them all together. So why would Umar have a need to bring up sex unnecessarily over and over and over again? Well, it's an obsession with this guy. And because he doesn't have self-control, he can't even stop himself. He lacks the impulse control. He just goes right on into it. Sometimes he goes into it and you think he's done, and then he keeps going. Who talks like that? And he gets online and talks like that. He's supposed to be a professional. What professional talks like that? I'm talking about to be on, out on the stage, to be out on Instagram, running your mouth, talking reckless like this, and it's all sexualized. But he's supposed to be a school psychologist. Which one is it? Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's maladaptive. See, he has other issues going on with himself. See, that's why he doesn't even feel comfortable with saying, when he talks about masturbation, he says, I've never done it before. Listen, you should, if you're supposed to be this great psychologist, first of all, why are you bringing it? Ain't nobody asked you that in the first place. But if you're going to talk about that, why do you have to lie about it? It's not necessary. See, Umar, he has this habit of when he knows that he's doing things that he feels as if other people may perceive to be unhealthy or unwholesome, he says, I don't do those things. Yes, you do. Stop. But it's really his own issues. It's maladaptive. And then, of course, last point, deeper still, ain't nobody asking about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Did nobody ask, you think we won't get on like Umar, have you done that today? No, we're not going to ask him that. So why is Umar bringing it up in the first place? Well, that he has an obsession with sex. And it's all maladaptive. Real talk, in 2026, Umar talks more about cookies and crushing cookies than he does about educating black children. All right. Thanks you, information man. Yeah, the Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was that was that book. I couldn't remember his name. Okay, did I get to all the soup chats? Okay, and thanks again. Salute, sir. Master Khalik says Malcolm is gone, Dr. King is gone, those days are gone. Umar is not a leader. He's an incompetent fool that no one should take seriously. Yeah, Umar doesn't even have his own personal life together. So to somehow be this great black leader to organize the black people and get, it makes no sense. It's literally, it's impossible. Umar can't even keep his room clean. He's a hoarder. He lives in filth, and it's also maladaptive information, man. It is, because he's just comfortable with it. He's just like, it is what it is, and he doesn't have any sense that something's wrong, and he just keeps going with it, and he's adapted to it to a point where he feels as if it's perfectly normal. And then he tells black parents that they don't know how to take care of their kids, and that they this and they that. In his own personal life, he doesn't have things in order. That happens, but you would think that someone who's so boastful and always running his mouth, that they would also make efforts over the decades to improve their life. We can't say that about Umar. If you guys go back 20 years ago and then you go to 2026, you can't say that Umar Johnson's life has improved. I'm talking about his personal life. We can also look in terms of his professional life too. So let's say professional and personal, and then we can also talk about his life in the black conscious space. We can't say that it's improved. He's fallen out with everyone that he's dealt with in the black conscious space. He's fallen out with. Now people don't call him like they used to come do things, not like they used to, because he's tricked all that off. But there's a reason why Umar Johnson's trajectory has gone from where it was 20 years ago to where it is today. And it's him. He's an incompetent fool. And that's not that's not being facetious or being harsh. It's a statement of fact. He's incompetent. He doesn't even know how to function in society, and he's a fool. That's why he's still living with his mama at the age of 51 and living off his mama at the age of 51. Doesn't even have his own vehicle. Who does that at the age of 51? And someone said, well, it's on the East Coast, and a lot of times people don't have cars. Well, Umar traveling all over the place. He's driving all over the place. We're using rental cars. It'd be cheaper just to buy a car, right? But he rents cars. And it doesn't matter to Umar. Why? Because it's other people's money anyway. He ain't got no job. The donations come in, and he get the rental car. Simple as that. Yeah, no one should take him seriously. Okay, basic things. He don't even pay basic bills on time. He almost lost these trap bandos last year. We won't take him seriously. After people don't send this guy millions of dollars, he almost loses them for not paying basic bills that normal people pay each month. And we don't even think about it each month. We don't even think about it. It has to be paid, and it is what it is. Umar don't even do that. And somehow people take him seriously. No. Thanks, Master Khalid. Randy says, every time Umar speaks, I smell cap. Yeah, he lies a lot. Okay, that's for sure. One thing about Umar is he will lie. Okay, he's a pathological liar. Okay, thank you guys for all the super chat. Let's get back to the main video. We still got about 930 people in the building. Thank you so much. If you're enjoying the show, hit that like button. We have a chance to get to 500 likes. We're at 442. So let's see if we can make it happen. Here we go.
Individuate too much. I need you to be on them, supervise them. Don't you ever let your child hang out with another child who you never met. Don't you ever let your child go to another child's home whose parents you never met. You got to know everybody around your child.
Yeah, and I agree with that because I'm hyper vigilant. But the thing is that listen how Umar talks about black children. People shouldn't even want Umar to be around their children, let alone including talking to them.
Because your job is to make sure they arrive on time, unharmed in June of 2033. Yeah. I want to say this, and I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to wrap it up. Parents, we have fallen into the hypnosis of American capitalism. That means that whenever our children do something good, we want to buy them something. When they get straight A's, we want to get them some Jordans. When they make the honor roll, we want to get them a new laptop. Every time they achieve, we want to give them something. Parents, I want you to change that around. Stop wasting money on things they don't need. The most important thing you can give these babies is your TIME, your time. Listen. Listen.
All right. Does Umar give his time to his own children? It makes me want to pull up. Let me go pull this up right quick. Let's go to 2025. Again, he's such a hypocrite because he doesn't even take care of his own children. Okay, let me just make sure that this is the right version. Yeah.
This man tried to say, text me, you and your mom can meet for dinner. You used to beat the shit out my mom, though. You used to beat the shit out my mom. Why the fuck would she want to deal with you? You need to be in fucking jail. But you on the internet trying to tell other black people how to lead. Aren't you building a school in Wilmington? So you doing all this for all these other black kids, but not doing nothing for your two daughters. And I tried to reach out to you.
Yeah, and she doesn't know that she has other siblings, with Umar, that Umar has, anyway, it's sad. Just so sad. Real quick, let me play this one.
Guys. So I just wanted to come on here with a small update. I just got off the phone with Dr. Umar's other daughter's mother, and she...
Okay, that's not the one either, because I want to get to the original one, that where she came out the first time. And I have the version right here where, but I can't play that one because, let's see. I think this may be the one. Let me see.
Hello, guys. So I just wanted to come on here with a small update. I just got off the phone with Dr.
Yeah, no, that's not it either. Yeah, I apologize. The original one is the one I was looking for. Let me just play this.
How that work? And you a fucking woman abuser. You need to be in fucking jail. You wanted a kid so bad. You wanted to get my mom pregnant so bad. But when my mom had me, you left the hospital. You're not even on my birth certificate. You're not even on my birth certificate. So I found my sister that's on my dad's side. I tried reaching out to Dr. Umar. He ignored me. Once he seen that I outed him, he sent me a message saying, oh, I want to take you and your mom out to dinner. He was domestic with my mom. So I really don't want to involve my mom in that. But my thing is, why do you want to try to talk to me now? It's because I outed you. You should have been tried to reach out to me. And I ignored.
But is that what you wanted for him to talk to you, though?
At
like, do you think you wanted to have
at least a conversation, Rocky? The man ignored me.
So why did you decline the dinner?
Yeah, by the way, I wanted to play the video where she initially, I'll find it because it'll give more context of what took place. Let me just explain this, that his daughter came out last year and explained how Umar was a deadbeat, wasn't an active participant in her life. And it just snowballed, and Umar did some horrible things, said some horrible things about her, and then weaponized his followers against her. And it got so bad, they were harassing her so much that she had a mental breakdown and was admitted. And then inevitably she became homeless, and Umar didn't help throughout any of that process. Okay, I'll find the original video. That's the one I want to show you guys. But again, Umar, he will tell black people that, what they need to be spending time with their children, but he's a deadbeat. He don't even take care of his own kids. All right, that's the point I want to make. Here we go.
You can give these babies is your TIME, your time. Listen. Listen. When these babies are 25 and 30, when these babies are 30 and 35, they're not going to remember the Air Jordans you bought. They're not going to remember the Easter outfit. They might not remember the graduation outfit, but they will remember how much time they spent with mom. They will remember how much time they spent with dad. And mom and dad, if y'all can't get along, you had better get along in front of those children. There's nothing more destructive to the emotional health of a child than to see mommy and daddy fight and argue in front of them, because they are 50% mom, 50% dad, and when you fight, you're attacking them on both sides.
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir. Conflict resolution. Fathers, there's a time to fight, but there's also a time to walk away. And too many of our young men are ending up in the cemetery and in the prison house because they don't have the wisdom to know when to walk away. I need you to teach our young men the difference between when you have to stand your ground and when you need to flee.
Okay, here's the video right here.
Exactly. So I just wanted to come on here with a small, short announcement. I just want to start this video off.
Yeah, how many of you guys remember this hit the one? This was huge last year. We got 950 people in the building. Thank you so much for tuning on in. Make sure you hit that like button.
Off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts, okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite. And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter. But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me. You should never be too busy for your daughter ever in life. So I just wanted to make this video to just try to, I guess, somehow find my sister on my dad's side. So if you see this, please reach out to me. Please DM me because I want to know who you are. Why do I have siblings out there that I don't know about? It's unfair. And, deadbeat fathers is very common nowadays, especially in the black community, right? We all know Dr. Umar reps the black community or whatever, but you can't rep that if you're not even in your daughter's life. You moving backwards. You're moving backwards. It's not making sense. To the public, you look like this person, but in private, you a whole nother person. And I'm not bashing you. I just don't understand why you're ignoring me. I'm 22 years old and you have yet to be in my life. No graduations, no parties. When I get married, are you going to be at the wedding? Are you going to walk me down the aisle? Y'all, I have a stepdad who has been in my life since a little girl. He has been in my life. And I thank God for him because my biological father couldn't even do that, y'all. My biological father is not even on my birth certificate because when my mom had me, he left. And I do have a DNA test. So yes, I can prove that that's my father. I would never get on here and lie to y'all. That's kind of sick and delusional and crazy. But I'm just making this video because I want to find my sister. And when I reached out to him about giving me her number or if he even had it, I was ignored. So now I guess I have to take matters into my own hands. So if you see this video, sister, please reach out to me because if he's not going to allow us to be in contact, I'll do it myself. I just want to end this video off by saying that daughters who have deadbeat fathers should not have to go through this. This is very present in the black community. And as an activist, I would not think that you would be a deadbeat because you rep the black community so much. It doesn't make any sense. You cannot be a hypocrite. You can't say do A, but you're doing B. It doesn't make any sense. So y'all already heard my mission for this video. Y'all already heard why I'm making this video. So if she can reach out to me, I would love that. I would love to have a conversation with you because you are my sister. on my father's side that I have never met. I don't even know your name. I don't even know how old you are. I have a sister on my mom's side, and I'm the oldest. I'm pretty sure that my sister that's on my dad's side, I'm probably older than her. I'm supposed to be guiding her. I'm supposed to be teaching her things. Because you as the father, you're not doing that. So let me do that as an older sister. But that's the end of this video. As I stated in the beginning of this video, I'm not trying to bash this man. I'm stating facts. Facts. And in the next clip, I will show y'all the screenshot of me trying to reach out to him, and he ignored me after I asked him if he had my sister's phone number. So here you go.
All right. Yeah, this is just so sad. It really is. So again, Umar, he'll tell black parents that the most important thing you can do is spend time with your children, but he's been a deadbeat to all of his kids.
Because too many of men are falling victim to this. There's also a time to walk away. In front of those children, they not going to remember the Air Jordans. When they make the honor roll, you will raise their test scores. And when they taste, scores are going to go up just because they were in those books. Mothers and fathers, our babies are like little caterpillars. You gave birth to them. And from birth into the 5th grade, they were learning how the world works. And then after they learn how the world works, they crawl around on their own a little bit. They start getting separated from you. They individuate, which is normal and natural and healthy to become their own person. But when they get to middle school, I don't want you to let them individuate too much. I need you to be on them, supervise them. Don't you ever let your child hang out with another child who you never met. Don't you ever let your child go to another child's home whose parents you never met. You got to know everybody around your child. Because your job is to make sure they arrive on time, unharmed in June of 2033. Yeah. I want to say this, and I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to say this and I'm going to wrap it up. Parents, we have fallen into the hypnosis of American capitalism. That means that whenever our children do something good, we want to buy them something. When they get straight A's, we want to get them some Jordans. When they make the honor roll, we want to get them a new laptop. Every time they achieve, we want to give them something. Parents, I want you to change that around. Stop wasting money on things they don't need. The most important thing you can give these babies is your TIME, your time. Listen.
Yeah, meanwhile, he ain't giving no time to none of his kids. Okay. Let me get a couple of super chats. Randy says, truly sad, he has literally not helped any child at all. Yeah. And, you know, in the first place, he should be taking care of his own children. And his daughter really went through it. There's stuff online that was just horrible. I didn't report on it because I'm a father. It's just, and children should be out of bounds anyway. But it's just a sad and tragic situation. And there are people who, you know, they saw her situation, they used it as an opportunity to get views and stuff. You know, it's just horrible. And then throughout all that, Umar didn't even, he didn't help her. Yeah, I remember there were people who were mad at me too because I wasn't sure. I would redact her face because I just felt like it was the right thing to do. I'm a father. And they were like, "Well, she's all over social media anyway." Well, that's not the point. You know, I was very careful with that. I tried my best to maintain her anonymity, even though everyone knew who she was. But I'm talking about pictures of her, videos of her, that kind of stuff. And it was just a sad situation. It was a young woman who trying to reach out to her father to get in contact with her sibling that she didn't know that she had. Now, what does that say about Umar though, too? Your children don't even know they have siblings, and yet you get up here and you want to tell black people what they need to be doing with their children, how they need to be spending time with their children, et cetera, et cetera. It's just a sad situation. And her situation was it got really, really bad. All kind of stuff that was on the internet. I didn't report on it, but it's just horrible. I hope that she's in a better place today But in the first place, Randy, Umar should have helped his daughter. That's what he should have did. But he was the one that set stuff in motion to where it got really, really bad for him. Anyway, just sad. Thanks, Randy. What's up, SH Play says, I've never seen this. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, we covered this last year. I didn't cover a lot of it. Again, I did my best to because there was a lot of stuff that went on last year anyway. But this was kind of what set last year off, was when his daughter came out to expose him. And we did several shows on it. But I've been very, very hesitant to talk about anything beyond what took place during those months early in 2025. It's sad. I'll have some of these clips inside. Yeah, I already have some of these clips inside the documentary. In fact, SH Play, the video where Umar is inside of his mama's closet and he has on the belt, the WWF belt, WWE belt. That was part of this. That was him going at his children's mothers as if they had anything to do with his daughter coming out to expose him. It got really, really messy, really, really quick. And Umar's the one. He's the common denominator. His daughter coming out, I didn't see it as being messy. I just think that she was suffering and she was in pain. And what I mean by that, emotionally, and that she wanted to reconnect with her father. She also wanted to connect with her sister. And Umar, he ignored her. She showed the text messages too. And so she decided to come forward and talk about, because Umar, he's always trying to talk about what we need to do with our kids. And so she came forward to expose him as a deadbeat, which I already knew. This child support docket proves that already. And Umar, what he does is he just instigates shit and he just takes things too far and he mobilized his followers to attack her online and get into her DMs. And that's what they did. It got real, real messy. And then later he was issuing threats, threats to the baby mamas, and that he was going to expose them as and different baby mamas. It ain't got nothing to do with what she came out and told the truth that he's a deadbeat. It got real messy. It was just sad. But I have a couple of segments of some of this stuff inside the documentary too. I won't get deep into it. Thanks, SH Play. Randy also says, I'm sorry that and Cook said this video is just very triggering for me. Please forgive me. Oh no, it's perfectly okay. Umar, how he's and it's understated. It really is, because people tend not to do enough research into Umar. If you have someone who doesn't even take care of their own children and has done things to their children to cause harm and use social media to cause harm, why in the fuck would you be supportive of someone like that? Why would you have him come speak to fifth graders? See, that makes no sense any type of way. I don't even know. Umar tried to explain it. His followers try to explain it. Any type of way you try to explain it, it's not going to make sense. The people who brought him out to speak to these fifth graders, however you want to slice it, it's not going to make sense. See, Umar doesn't care. He doesn't care about his children. He's put his children's lives in jeopardy. When he previously, when he told his fathers to go up there and confront the baby mamas at her place of business. See, and who knows what kind of shit he put the baby mamas through over the decades. Ain't no telling. So no, it is perfectly acceptable. People, we're allowed to feel what we feel. I don't like it. I think Umar, he really represents the antithesis of what a loving father and a loving husband would be. That's what he represents. He's the opposite. And then it plays itself out online, and then people act like all the receipts aren't there, and then they bring him out to speak. They get him on the Breakfast Club. They put him on the Art of Dialogue. They put him on Big Loon. Shout out to Big Loon too. They put him on Big Loon. Why? They have him speak in front of fifth graders? Anyway. Thanks, Randy. Afro Punk says, please play the video of Umar Johnson said his kids will expose him. Yeah, there is. I would have to find it because I know I have it. There is a video where Umar, he says this way in advance. It's way in advance of 2025. He says that because that was his fear, that one of these days he would be exposed by his children. But that's because Umar already knew. He knows that he's a deadbeat. Let me see if it populates. It may not populate because I don't know how I archived that one, but I do have it. Because he's sitting in FDM in the trap band. I think he's in the gym. Yeah, he's in the gym in that video. Was that 2025? Wait, I think that's it right there. I think this is it. Let's see. I think this is it right here. I don't think the video was recorded in 2025. I think it was before that. This is something I'm gonna have to get clear of for the documentary, the timeline on this particular. I think this is the video Afropunk. Let me see. Here we go.
Two most interesting thing about the wifey resumes is most of them have come from women.
No, this ain't it.
Under the age of 35.
See,
I'm very shocked. I thought most of them would come.
Yeah, he's such a performer. See, I'm trying to talk all sedity.
From women between 35 and 50. No.
Oh no, Dr. Umar.
Most of the women are from 25 to 35.
See, this is just him because he preys on these younger women like this. Yeah, this guy, he's sick. Look at this motherfucker. Look at his face. Look at his face as he's talking about this shit. Truly narcissistic.
The two most interesting thing about the wifey resumes is most of them have come from women under the age of 35.
See,
I'm very shocked. I thought most of them would come from women between 35 and 50. No.
oh no, Dr. Umar.
Most of the women are from 25 to 35. So I'm like, some of you.
You don't like that, or is it just?
I don't want to go under 30 at all.
Okay.
And
This you don't want to go under. This at 50 years old, don't deadbeat, don't take care of his kid, don't got his own place, don't have his own car, live off his mama, live in mama closet. Can you believe this guy?
I'd rather not go under 35, but I would consider low 30s.
Okay.
I don't think I can consider 29 and under.
So about 30 is like the max.
30 is the absolute minimum.
Okay.
Right. So I'm surprised at the age, but I interpret that to mean that there's not a lot of young brothers for our young serious sisters. You follow me? If I'm getting all these wifey resumes from 25 to 30,
Yeah, this is some crazy. I gotta find the original video on that. I think that's the video where he says that about his the daughter, but I can't find it right now. I would need the year and probably the date too, but at least the year. I don't remember what year that was. Yeah, I'll keep looking for it, and if I find it between now and our next live stream, I'll pull it up because that's very telling. Umar, he was sitting there and he was talking about how he was one of his fears was that one of his daughters would come out and expose him as being a deadbeat. And this was before his daughter actually came out to expose him as a deadbeat. Right? Okay. Thanks, Afro Punk Chick. Miss Conference says, hello, and a great show. Just tallying up your super chats. Watching your pockets as usual. Carry on. All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Controversy. I appreciate it. He be pocket watching me. All right. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, bro. Enterprise says, ain't no shout out to Loon. Him, BC, and Art are all clowns. Yeah, I know. I just, I like Loon because he does kind of challenge Umar. He still be on some bullshit because he be trying to placate to Umar. But Umar was on Big Loon's podcast recently, and I think Big Loon's dropped some segments, but I want to see whether or not Umar actually talks about FDMG. That's all I'm worried about. All the other shit he talking about, I ain't worried about all that. Thanks, Enterprise. And then Randy says, I smell cap. yeah, it's cap. Okay. I'm gonna try my best to find that video because that really was and thanks, Randy. Thanks, Enterprise. Thanks, Mr. Controversy, Afropunk. I'm gonna try to find that video, Afropunk. If anyone knows what year that was, let me know in the chat room. I'll be in the chat room now to take a look. Yeah, you ain't raised $1 million? Because if I know the year, I can pinpoint it. Okay, let's get back to the main video. Here we go.
When these babies are 25.
Yeah, the young lady that Umar was dealing with, she alleged that they were intimate. She was 23. So that's what I'm saying. When I played that video where Umar's talking like that, this is all grooming. That's why he even looks like this. He's a groomer. Look.
The two most interesting thing about the wifey resumes is most of them have come from women under the age of 35.
Yeah, his eyes, boy, I'm telling you, this guy, he's sick.
See,
I'm very shocked. I thought most of them would come from women between 35 and 50.
I gotta find this. I know I have it. I'm gonna go look.
oh no, Dr. Umar.
Most of the women are from 25 to 35. So I'm like, Some of you
You
are
don't like
young enough.
that, or is it just?
I don't want to go under 30.
See, the lady who's interviewing him, I wonder what age she is, because he may just be talking like this to groom her.
At all.
Okay.
And I'd rather not go under 35. But I would consider low 30s.
Oh, that's nuts. Boy, I know he got them crazy eyes, Johnson. He sure do. He sure do. SH Play said, and thanks, James. Yep. SH Play says, I remember Umar Johnson's response to his daughter in the coverage. I just never saw the original video. Praying for that young lady. Okay, happiness. Yeah. That video went viral. It went viral. Everyone was talking about it. It's just sad, because if your child has to do that, and you can tell she's just emotionally, she's hurt. She wants her father in her life. And it was an opportunity for Umar, actually. He could have actually used that, her reaching out to him offline, as an opportunity to kind of make inroads back into her life and correct things. But he didn't do that. That's not what he doesn't care. He's a psychopath, sociopath, narcissistic personality traits. He doesn't care. So he ignores her like he's been doing. And once he ignores her, that's when she decided to come out and do that original video. And I remember people were emailing me about it. I was like, what in the world is going on? I had no idea. Okay, I knew about her because I had already done research on her, on all the baby mamas and all the kids. But that was the first time that I actually saw her actually come forward and say anything about Umar, her father. And it went viral, and it's something that it really kind of snowballed, because Umar, he just kept going with it. And that's when he started doing crazy videos, disparaging her mother and talking reckless and telling all the business. And yeah, she was on the pill, and the other one was with the UED or whatever he was talking. Why are you telling all that business? And then it got real crazy. Talking about, then they bust the window out and put a no death threat in the. I was like, what are you? It's crazy. But that was the video that set all that off, and it was huge. Now I'll cover some of it inside the documentary. I tried to stay off of that topic as much as possible because it's she's a young lady. It's just sad. Thanks, SH Play. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people. There's some of the stuff I've shown today people haven't seen, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch more that I can show that people just haven't seen it. 7 more likes to get to 500, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna keep trying to find that video because I'm gonna look for him in this outfit right here. Umar, boy. Okay, let's get back to and matter of fact, because there's I want to give some more examples. Let's do that. Okay, I know I wanted to kind of wind this down, but I want to give some of the super soaker rant and tell me if this is the type of person that should be speaking to 5th graders.
Garvey Academy, I'm gonna have a super soaker water gun. At the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, I'm gonna have a super soaker water gun, invented by a black man, by the way. Invented by a black man, by the way. Invented by a black man, by the way. I'm gonna have a super soaker water gun. And if any black mother walks into the doors of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Pan African Excellence in your pajamas, I'm telling you now, if you walk into my school in your pajamas, I'm a super soaker your ass from head to toe. And I'm going to make sure I mess your hair up, your weave in the process. I'm telling you now. See, we an independent school. We can do that. We not a charter school.
Yeah, Umar he thinks that by him being independent, he can do whatever he wants to, including physical assault. Okay, that's how he thinks about this. It's a cult.
We not a charter school. We not a public school. We independent. This is Garvey talking. We independent. So I'm telling all my black mothers now, when you show up to drop your son off at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, stay your ass in the car if you got your pajamas on. Because if you come in my school with your pajamas, I'm a super soaker your ass from head to toe. And I'm going to make sure I mess up your blonde weave. I'm telling you now, this is King Kong. Come to my school with your damn pajamas on, black mother. You just crawled out the bed after getting bent over, and you're going to come out the house straight out the bed with sex crumbs all over your body. You're going to crawl out the bed and come to my school with sex crumbs all over your body.
Man, this guy.
Looking like a damn ghost because all that makeup you wear then ate your natural skin juices up. All that makeup you wear on your face then ate your natural skin juices up. So you look like a damn ghost without makeup with 10 feet long eyelashes. You show up at my school in some pajamas. I'ma grab the super soaker. I'ma grab the super soaker. I'ma grab the super soaker water gun. I'ma grab the super soaker water gun. I'ma aim at your weave, your perm, your blonde extensions, and I'ma super soaker your ass from head to toe. Oh yes. Oh yes. FDMG. FDMG is coming, baby. FDMG is coming. You got one time to show up in your pajamas.
He's high. He's high as a kite. That's why he's got that post-nasal drip. Why would you have someone like this speak to fifth graders?
That is so unprofessional to crawl out your bed with your man's juices dried up on your thigh. Your
It's unprofessional to be talking like this.
Juices dried up on your cheeks. And you crawled your ashy ass out the bed with sex crumbs all over you.
There you go.
In your nasty pajamas. And you think you're going to come to the Frederick Doug and you think you're going to walk into my school and then you're going to drop them off late. Most of you pajama queens, most of you pajama mamas, that's what I'm going to call you. Pajama mama. Are you a pajama mama? Are you a pajama mama? Are you that pajama mama who be crawling out the bed with sex crumbs on you?
Sick.
Putting your dusty pajamas on flip-flops. Crust in your eye, crust stash around your mouth. You didn't go to bed till 4 o'clock, so you woke up late. Because your bend over session didn't start till about 1 in the morning.
Why would you bring this guy? He's sick. I mean, he's so high. Look at his eyes, just bugging out and shit. Why would you bring him to fifth graders?
Mike got free
from
selling his weed pack.
Weed pack.
So Mike didn't get to your house till 1:30. You and Mike didn't go to sleep till 4 o'clock because y'all was
there you go
making black magic. And so you want to bring your son late. You want to sign him in late. Oh, Dr. Umar, I'm so sorry I overslept. Dr. Umar, I'm so sorry I overslept. And you think you're going to bring your late ass in my school? You think you're going to bring your late ass in my school with sex crumbs all on you? I'm going to line your ass up. I'm going to line you up. I'm telling you right now, black mother.
He's unhinged.
And I'm going to aim at that weave. I'm going to aim at that perm and that blonde hair. Y'all know I can't stand a black woman with blonde hair. You know I can't stand a black woman. Oh, I'm going to line you up. And I'm a super soaker your ass. Since you didn't want to wash your ass before you brought your son in, since you didn't want to wash your ass and you crawled out the bed with sex crumbs, since you didn't want to wash your ass, I'm going to put some alkaline water and I'm going to put a little, I'm going to put some,
what, Umar?
What we call it? The African black soap. I'm going to put some African black soap since you don't want to wash your ass before you brought your son to my school after you had the sex crumbs. I'm going to put some African shea butter soap in here with the alkaline water. In fact, I'm going to turn this into a soup. This is a super circle bomb. I'm going to just bomb her ass. I'm going to just bomb. Wow. Super circle. I can't stand a pajama mama.
Umar Johnson's hatred toward single mothers is expressed in many ways. On several occasions, he has threatened to rip their fingernails out.
And he got the IEP this year in first grade. Can I pull your fingernails out for signing permission to get my little brother tested, Sister Chrissy? Can I pull your fingernails out?
Umar Johnson has consistently referred to black women as hoes, hood rats, maggots, etc.
You better be bringing more to the table than a pretty face and some hot cookies. Okay? I'm very serious about my life. I'm very
Yeah, I just have to say too, when he talks about the pulling the fingernails out, that's why I've proposed that Umar Johnson, he's a psychopath, because normal people don't think like that, but he's also what do they call that? People, they get enjoyment out of hurting other people and causing people pain. So I can't remember what the terminology is. The other thing is that's not an isolated incident. There's another time where he says the same thing to another woman. Okay, who talks like that? And why would you want someone like that talking to fifth graders? Yeah, he's a sadist. Thank you, Kogo. Umar's a sadist. He's sadistic, masochist. Yep. So again, it's very clear. If you listen to Umar, he tends to talk with these violent type of rhetoric about pounding the boys' chests in and murdering 10% of black boys and pulling the fingernails out of women. And I go on and on with this. Historically speaking, that's one of the primitive themes that he presents. Why would you want to have someone like that around children or talking to children? Fifth grade is crazy. I found that video too, by the way. Let me pull it up real quick. So this is the video I was looking for.
The two most
I'm sorry, hold on one second. Here it is.
thing about the wifey resumes is most of them have come from women under the age of 35.
I began the fundraising in 2010.
Yeah, this is the original video right here. But I have the other clip though. Let me go find it.
That would have been 4 more years of.
And see, it was a younger lady who's interviewing him. That's why he was talking about, age 30, age 20, early 30s or whatever, because he was grooming her. He'll groom anybody.
Exposure, 4 more years of fundraising. The schools may be done already. We got to school February 7th, 1 week before Frederick Douglass's birthday, during his bicentennial year. You see that?
If that's not powerful,
it's too many coincidences that leads me, because I never thought I would be here. I thought I was going to be in Chicago, Detroit, because these are big time Dr. Umar cities, And I think destiny put us in. That's why I fight so hard, because I believe it's supposed to be. But it still ain't going to be easy. You still got to finish the work.
Okay.
My next question is, when did you realize it was time for you to open a school, and why? Or was this something you always wanted to do, or is it just?
These are some good questions too, by the way. I want it because you're making me think about things that needed to be said that haven't been said. Okay. There's one mistake I made, or should I say one big mistake, because several mistakes were made, and more will be made on the way. As someone once said, you have to fail your way to victory. But anyway, one of the big mistakes that was made with FDMG, I should have started that fundraising before 2014.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Because if I would
Again, he received donations back in 2012. He's such a liar. I mean, I can provide the receipt and show you guys that as well. Anyway, I think this is the original video. At some point we'll get into all of this, but let me pull up the video that I was looking for, because I think this is it right here. Okay, I think this is it. I'm hoping that this is it. Let's see.
I regret having not been more responsible when I dated my daughter's mothers, because I have never reconciled with myself the fact that my children were raised in the home without me. You don't necessarily have to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, but show me what you can do well. So I say, okay, if she can do this well, I'm going to use that. You follow me? If she say I can do the hell out of an event, I got you. I can do the hell out of correspondence, fundraising, because I'm looking for how you can benefit me. You see, the movement, and I think too often with the sisters, they look at how they can benefit me when that bedroom is closed. That's important, but that's not more important.
See, there you go. It's always got to go back to sex with this guy. He's sick. Look at his eyes.
And what you can do for the movement. You follow what I'm saying?
How can people help? Like, are you accepting donations for books right now? Why do you not want that right now?
Right now. Do so much further in the work that I am. Wife,
I know I would be all of the different benefits before 2010 with that serious.
Okay, here we go.
May not be bad people, but are not the Pan Africanist that I am. And so my daughters were not raised with that serious. I regret having not been more responsible when I dated my daughter's mothers, because I have never reconciled with myself the fact that my children were raised in the home without me and with other men who may not be bad people, but are not the Pan Africanist that I am.
But you're a deadbeat. So what? So what about the Pan Africanism? At least they stepped up. Real talk.
So my daughters were not raised with that serious Pan-African, African-centered consciousness and personality that I would have liked for them to have. And I can't blame nobody for that but myself. So I regret that too.
Okay. And so you talked on the issue. Thank you for being very honest about that last part. So if you're still single, and if you're still accepting, what is it, wifey resumes?
The interesting thing about the wifey resumes?
They're not coming?
No, they're coming. The two most interesting thing about the wifey resumes.
Yeah, let me
okay. Right. So I'm saying them. You follow? Why would a sister would on accepting what they want? I'm looking for who are you? Like any relation, follow me. If she say I can do the hell clothes, that's and represent me. And also be able to get stuff.
Yeah, so this isn't the video either. I mean, it's part of it. There's another video, and it's either this one or it's another video. I mean, not mean this one. When this was recorded, where he says that he's afraid that he'll be exposed by that his daughters will come out and expose him someday. I'll keep looking for it over the next couple of days. We at some point I want to get to the whole video because it's probably in
Jamaica,
this one.
You in Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah, it's probably in this 200. I'll keep looking though. But this is almost the full video. I just don't have a reference point for who this young lady is and when this was recorded or anything like that. But I'll keep looking. Okay. Let's get back to the main video. We're gonna start winding it down. Here we go.
30. When these babies are 30 and 35, they not gonna remember the Air Jordans you bought. They not gonna remember the Easter outfit. They might not remember the graduation outfit, but they will remember how much time they spent with mom. They will remember how much time they spent with dad. And mom and dad, if y'all can't get along, you had better get along in front of those children. There's nothing more destructive to the emotional health of a child than to see mommy and daddy fight and argue in front of them, because they are 50% mom, 50% dad, and when you fight, you're attacking them on both sides.
Yes, you are.
No, cut it out.
Conflict resolution. Fathers, there's a time to fight, but there's also a time to walk away. And too many of our young men are ending up in the cemetery and in the prison house because they don't have the wisdom to know when to walk away. I need you to teach our young men the difference between when you have to stand your ground and when you need to flee. Because too many of our young men are falling victim to the system because they don't have the wisdom to know when to walk and when to stand, because uncle and daddy and grandpa and cousin are raising them to believe that they got to crash out every time they get disrespected. We got to change that.
Okay, look who's talking about crashing out. Let me go pull it up because I have it queued up. Here you go.
Umar Johnson's promotion of physical violence against police officers, against black boy thugs, and against his donors is indicative of his tendency to make physical threats against those he disagrees with or those who criticize his violent rhetoric and his scamming of the black community. Here are some examples.
I'ma deal with Papa Smurf. I'ma deal with that little dirty I heard you albino. I'ma handle your night. You ain't getting away with that. You should have never came for me. I never with your little dirty broke anyway. Look at my face when you talking to me. This ain't no WWF Who the you the conscious Hulk Hogan? You the conscious Hulk Hogan? Papa Smurf? Motherfucker, you look like Tattoo from Fantasy Island with your stupid Speak your speech. Speak your speech. Speak your speech. You see that date, August 21st. That's when I was born. 821. Bring it. Bring it, motherfucker. Little dirty midget. I'm right here. Come bring it. I'm right here. Come bring it. I'm right here. Come bring it. You said I got a little belly, right? But guess what? I'm comfortable in my motherfucking skin. I love who the I am. Ain't no problems over here with the Prince of Pan Africanism. I'm straight. Why the you looking at my chest for, you pro? What you looking at my chest for? What you looking at my stomach for? You think I waste any time looking at your nut ass? I got a gut. That's all right. I can handle mines though, homie. You can believe that. That's right. Yo, lifting weights because it makes you feel equal. Because you insecure. So you got to be all big and muscle bound. So you feel equal. Well, guess what? You can lift all the weights in the world and you'll never be 6'3". You can talk about my gut all day, but I'm sexy with mine. I'm fine. I'm cool in my skin. Don't you ever speak my name.
This is the guy they had come speak to 5th graders. This is crazy. Let's go.
I'm talking to you, SETI.
SETI?
Friday night. What you gonna do? I'm calling you out. A debate on black leadership. Ain't gonna be no sucker. It's gonna be children and mothers in there, and we gonna keep the gangster. You got some personal with me, we can handle that shit out back.
We can handle that outside.
I know the conscious community got y'all lazy. All they running around is intellectually masturbating old information. Like Papa Smurf. That Papa Smurf ain't gonna get us nowhere. That Papa Smurf gonna get us nowhere. You feel me? Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. I got this. Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. I got this. I answered the call. The other day, Sabir Bey, I'm telling you to your face. It's personal now, bro. You came to the Culture Connection when I was in Chicago. You came to the Culture Connection when I was in Chicago. Told people I didn't speak to you, little midget. First of all, you ain't but 3 feet tall. How the hell I'ma see you? You's a hater. But when weak dudes like Tariq Nasheed and Boyce Watkins speak my name in a negative vein, I got the air cats out. That's all this is about. You know you deserve this shit, Macadocious. Calling that man crispy. There's some. If you want to say something about the brother, say something about the brother. You don't pick fun at his skin tone. Every time you look in the mirror, you see a crack. So you got to go extra hard because you're trying to prove to yourself that you're a black man. I ain't got that problem. You poking fun at all black women who are richly melanated, and you poking fun at all black men who are richly melanated. I'm melanated, bitch. When I look in the mirror, I see a black man. When you look in the mirror, you see a cracker. You don't pick fun at his skin tone. I'ma deal with that little dirty. I heard you, albino.
Give Pharaoh a lot. He dropped.
Oh, I ain't speaking on it.
Oh, okay.
I ain't speaking on him.
Okay.
Little dirty getting the words. Stuff I know about Boyce Watkins, I'm not gonna put that out there right now. Because I'm hoping y'all keep my name out your mouth and we go our separate ways, bro. But that boxing match, oh, we can do that. In fact, where's Sinetta at? Since y'all call Sinetta the Don King, tell Sinetta to call that up and see if he can get his ass in the ring for 10 rounds. But if you want to talk that gangster shit, you want to go to the streets with it, okay. When and where? When and where? I want to see this. When and where? So I can knuckle your up. You want your ass beat? When and where? Now that Tariq Nasheed. By the way, Flex, I heard you said you pulling up. I want to know when you pulling up. I called your ass out for 10 rounds. You didn't respond, brother. Get your fat in the ring for 10 rounds since you so gangster. You could bring Moist Joyce Watkins as your partner. We want to do a handicap debate match. Remember back in the days, fellas, when we used to watch wrestling growing up back in the 4th and 5th grade? This ain't no WWF. Who the is you, the conscious Hulk Hogan?
And here he comes.
All right. Anyway, That's just some more examples. Umar talks this talk, but he's the one who's unstable, and that SETI rant was atrocious. Okay,
There's 4 3. The first type of parent, we call them passive. These are the parents who love their kids. They give their kids whatever they want. The child knows they love them, but it's all about love, no discipline. These children grow up to be spoiled. They can't work hard because their parents never made them work for nothing. And then you got your aggressive parents. These parents are disciplined. They strict like the military. Their children grow up to be doctors and lawyers and business owners and Fortune 500 company CEOs, but they also grow up to be some of the biggest secret cigarette smokers and alcohol drinkers. Because
Umar projecting.
their parents only valued them for what they could do, not for who they are. So on one side, you're spoiling the kids. On the other side, you're damaging the kids. I need you to be balanced. I need you to be the parent in the middle. The parent who knows when to take charge and the parent who knows when to let the child learn the lesson. There's no book that's going to teach you how to be a good parent. You got to learn it through trial and error. But make sure you are learning it well, because these babies will only be children for 18 years. They will be adults for the rest of their life. And if we don't raise them right, the pain that we put in them from the family system, they will give it to the village. There's an African proverb that says, when you don't raise the children well, they return to the village to burn it down. To my young ladies, as you move into middle school and high school, I need you to understand that mathematics is more important than your hairstyle. I need you to understand that reading is more important than your body. I need you to understand that comprehension is more important than the high heels you got on your feet. Black mothers, please stop letting our daughters sexually objectify themselves.
Woo! Here he go. Here he go.
Our ancestors were enslaved for 246 years. Sexual objectification of the black woman for 246 years. How dare you continue to practice today? 6th and 7th graders, 8th and 9th graders dressing like grown women, lipstick, tattoos, weaves all the way down to their...
What? I don't know. I don't know who decided to get this clown. What did he just say? I'm sorry. I done zoned out because he's annoying and he just be running his mouth.
Sexual objectification of the black woman for 246 years. How dare you continue to practice today?
To what? What did he say right there? How dare you to just continue to practice what?
They objectify themselves.
Woo!
Our ancestors were enslaved for 246 years. Sexual objectification of the black woman for 246 years. How dare you continue to practice today?
Continue to practice something today, I think that's what he says.
6th and 7th graders, 8th and 9th graders dressing like grown women, lipstick.
6th and 7th, this guy, he's sick. He's acting like, anyway, it's almost done.
Tattoos, weaves all the way down to their... Let a child be a child for once. Let a child be a child for once. And black father, you got to do better too.
Yeah,
because Mike ain't got no business with no gold chain in the 3rd grade.
Here he go. Here he go. This supposed to be 5th grade graduation going to 6th grade. What in the world?
He ain't got no business with his ear pierced in the 4th grade. Let children be children. They only get 18 years. I want to close with a story. One of our greatest black educators, Dr. Booker T. Washington, born a slave in West Virginia. His mother was sexually assaulted by the slave master. Booker T. Washington wanted an education. So he walked by foot from West Virginia to Hampton, Virginia. When he got to Hampton, he couldn't afford the tuition. So he asked the principal of Hampton for the opportunity to work his way through college. They gave him the opportunity. And when Booker T. Washington graduated from Hampton Institute, he became a teacher at Hampton. And then the principal got a phone call. The black community of Tuskegee, Alabama. They said, do you have any students up there who can come down here and teach black folks how to make a living? Because even though slavery's over, our people still haven't gotten a head start since the change.
And then it ends right there. Wow, this was rough to get through, for sure. It's incredible that they gave this guy, Umar Johnson, an opportunity to come speak in front of fifth graders. And he has no business being around kids, speaking in front of kids. The poll question, ladies and gentlemen, as we close out here, given Umar Johnson's history, and I've provided just a few. I mean, there's so many other examples I can provide you with Umar in this history and how he talks and sexualizing children. And one of the main ones when he talks about the little girl's private parts and he calls them rotten cookies. That's in the first documentary. That's the one I forgot to pull up for you guys. Given his history, the question is, should he be speaking to children? 6% said yes, and 94% said no. Over 1,090 votes on that poll question. Thanks everyone who voted on that poll. I really appreciate it. Also, I want to thank the mods for handling business. I'll close out this poll. Thanks to mods for handling business during this live stream, and everyone who sent in super chats as well. There's a couple more. I'm going to get to those in just a moment. We got to 500 likes, which is great. Thank you for that as well. Let me do these real quick and we get up out of here. Athena says, Umar has a deep disdain for Black American people. Yeah, he does not particularly care for Black people. Most of what he says about Black people, and I've researched Umar going all back to his childhood. Okay, I've looked at extensive video footage and I'm still working through 2013 now. But I've seen a lot of videos from 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then basically from 2019 forward, I've seen pretty much all of them because we've been providing coverage of Umar, extensive coverage. And one of the themes throughout is a disdain for Black people. Most of what he says about Black people is negative. The scenarios that he comes up with about Black parents, Black kids, it's always a negative, extremely negative. He said that the little girls dressed like women. I can't even remember what grade he said, but it was what are you talking about? He comes up with the most negative and disrespectful scenarios towards Black men. The reason why, because he doesn't care. He doesn't like Black people. It's just that simple. He doesn't care for Black people, not at all. He doesn't care about his own kids. He does real talk. He don't care about nobody. But if you listen to Umar's rhetoric when he talks about Black people, 99% of the time it's something he's saying something negative. Okay, thanks, Athena. Randy says he said we sniff. Haha, yeah. You guys can catch that sniff. We talked about this yesterday because we talked a lot about him and his substance abuse issues. And in my research, it goes back to 2012. You start to see that sniffing going on. 2013, you see a little bit more. And then it gets really, really bad all the way up to 2026. And you can tell, I can tell when Umar's high. I can tell when he's having withdrawal symptoms. He has that post-nasal drip. There's times where he's on a binge, a drug binge. Why would you have someone like this at speaking at a fifth grade graduation? The people who had him there, you guys should be ashamed of yourself. But you ain't got no ethics and you ain't got no morals. So that's why you had him there. Okay. That's why you had him there. It's also a pick-me situation. I'm gonna leave it right there, but that's part of it, and that's one of the things you'll see consistent with Umar. You got these Black women out here with low self-esteem. They'll settle for any old dude that they can find that'll run his mouth. He ain't got a job. He don't take care of his kids. He live off his mama. At 51, live beside him. Mama Claus has been scamming the Black community for decades now, but they'll settle for some shit like that, and they the one that bring Umar through. He'll come through, he run through, and he move on to the next. And they think that they special. And I said it. All right. Ike says, I saw captions that said avoiding clutter. Well, listen, those captions were incorrect, clearly. Okay, thanks, Ike. User 225 said, did the school get any backlash for inviting him? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think most people don't know about it. And the thing is that we're talking. It's a Black, like a African centered school. And I thought I saw a part where in that video where he mentioned the names of the school or something like that. I can't remember, but it may be. I may have seen another link where he actually talks about that. But the point is that I don't think it even matters at this point. You know, people, they're in denial. And, you know, you have parents in the audience who are cheering this on. I'm sure there were parents who were disturbed too. But what are people going to do? I would have told him to get his ass off the stage. They would have to run me up out of there. And I'll even just talk about Umar. If any of my kids' graduation, you got someone talking crazy like that, okay, I listen, they would have probably gotten me up out of there because I would have said something. See, but the standard is so low. We set these low standards, and some of these black women, y'all set these low standards for black male behavior and what you're willing to accept. And you want to accept this goofy with the bumpity bump on his lip. He done talk all type of sexual talk about little girls' private parts. I give some examples. I already gave some examples, and talking crazy about little boys too. About how he want to cuddle with them by the fireside. One time he said he can't wait to have the boys sleep over at these trap bandos so that he can lock them in, turn the lights off, and play capture the flag. This is the person that y'all decided to have speak in front of these fifth grade. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. You want to say it's white supremacy and black men don't respect me? Well, you don't respect yourself. It ain't got nothing to do with white supremacy. You invited the clown. You should be ashamed of yourself, but you not, because the standard is set so low. And if you think, real quick, real talk, if you think a good man want to deal with a woman like that, you got another thing coming. So keep going with these little pookie types that just run through these women that are male hoes. Yeah, keep selling for that, and we're gonna see where that gets you. But don't complain. Don't complain about it later. Anyway, thanks, user 225. More importantly than your body, these kids are 10. Yeah, I know. Why is he even bringing that up? Hey, it's crazy. Thanks, user 225. Goddess Noel says this speech went left so many times it's a circle. Yeah, and that's why I could not watch the whole thing. I said I watched a little bit of it, and I said I can't do it. I got to wait till the Good Crush chat. That's the only way I can get through this foolishness. Only way. Thanks, Goddess Noel. User 225 says Mike is who paints FDMG in exchange for. Right. What in the world, indeed? All right, thanks, Randy. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit the like button if you ain't hit the like button yet. I want to thank everyone again for tuning on in. Thanks to the mods for handling business. I hope I didn't miss any super chats because there was a gang of them tonight and last night. I appreciate y'all's support, sincerely. Okay, thank you guys for all your support. And thanks to James, too, for sending me this particular video. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what we're going to get into because I need to put together a short presentation on the mold situation, and I got to go through to find the videos. It may be on that. If not, we'll do a short show. We'll get together and I'll pull something up and we can get into it. We could get into this video that I pulled up where he's talking to that young lady because I haven't covered the whole thing, and we can go through that whole thing. It will be a short show, but for sure we're going to live stream. I'm just not sure what the topic will be on. So I may not set the show up until the morning time. But you guys will be back tomorrow for another live stream. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. Thanks. Peace be with you. Anytime people say that they enjoyed the show, I always, if I see it, I got to thank Francisco too. Thanks for modding the Godzilla Princess as well. I appreciate you. All right. Please enjoy the rest of your eating, everybody. And I truly hope that you enjoyed the show today. And as we always do, that's not the one I wanted.
With my message.
This is the one I
wanted.
Sister
Avanti, $10 coming on the cash.
Shout out to Sister Avanti. Thanks, Kogo.
Next time, make it 20.
Renee.
Thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
For a second logic. All right. Thank y'all so much. We got Black Mario. Next time, make it 20. Scammer Visions Records album. Bando Records. I did the video.
I appreciate that $10 donation. I really do. But next time, make it 20.
Next time, make it 20.
She came up smiling after the program was through. Said, brother, here's $10, I'm supporting you. I looked at the queen and I nodded my head.
You think you welcome, DB?
Said, thank you, sister, then this is what I said.
Next time, make it 20.
Times are hard, I understand. Everybody doing the best they can, but dreams this big take more than hope. We're trying to build, not barely cope. Everybody say we not fisking flat tires.
We ain't fisking flat.
We not selling water ices.
Yeah.
We building institutions. institutions, family.
Uh-oh, WAC 100 got paperwork.
We not fisking flat tires.
Salute, sir.
We not
Thanks, Black
selling
Mario.
water ices. We building institutions, family.
Yeah, thanks, Deshaun.
Next time, make it 20.
Good night,
If
Ken.
the blessings come your way, I appreciate the 10. But here's what I gotta say.
Yeah,
Next time,
right.
make it 20. Let the whole congregation see.
You welcome, Sonia. I appreciate this. What's up, Sheree?
We build an institution.
Sports bets in the building as well.
Hey. Oh,
Here we go. Yeah.
People asking questions every single day. How you gonna build it? How you gonna pay? I say one donation, one dream at a time. Everybody pitching in to help us climb. This ain't about quick fixes. This ain't about little gimmicks. Trying to leave something standing tall for the next generation and all. We not fisting flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family.
Thanks, Crystal, for tuning in.
We not fisking flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family. Next time, make it 20. If the blessings come your way, I appreciate the 10. But here's what I gotta say. Next time, make it 20. Let the whole congregation see. We not fisking flat tires. We building institutions, family. Institution builders. Yeah. Institution builders. Yeah. What we doing? Building institutions, family. What we not doing? We not fisking flat tires. What else? Ooh. We not selling water ices. One more time. One more time. We doing it. We building institutions, family. Now everybody clap your hands. Left side sing. We not fisking flat tires. Right side sing. Right side sing. Everybody together. We building institutions, family. Next time, make it 20. When prosperity comes through, I appreciate the 10.
This song
And
really
I
is.
appreciate you too. Yeah. Next time, make it 20. That's
Quiet
the
storm. I remember
message
Quiet
for
Storm.
today. We building institutions, family. And we're doing it all the way. We not fisking flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions.
Yeah, that's true, Athena.
family.
Yeah, Cooper Chat's very talented. A lot of talented people up in here.
We not fisking flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family. Next time, make it 20.
All right, there you have it. All right, I don't say Squatch, Grizzly Bear, yeah. Shout out to Sister Monty too. Okay, yeah. The lyrics are great. Said when prosperity comes through and then the music raises up, that's just perfect. All right, thank you guys again for tuning on in. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Not sure what the topic will be quite yet, but I'll have it the show set up by tomorrow morning. And even if we get together for 30 minutes, an hour, we'll get together tomorrow for sure. Okay. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Each and every one of you, everyone inside the Cook Chat, the mods for handling business too. I appreciate y'all and everyone who's been supportive of this YouTube page, not just today, but forever. Thank you guys so much. I love y'all. Okay, y'all take care. Enjoy your evening. Talk to y'all soon. Take care. Peace.